Isaiah chapter 58 and verse 1. Cry aloud, spare not, lift up thy voice like a trumpet, and show my people their transgressions, and the house of Jacob their sins.
Copyright disclaimer. This content does not belong to Bible Chronicles or claim this intellectual property. The content provided today has and always will belong to the content owner. Bible Chronicles does not have any affiliation with the owner of this property. As mentioned, Bible Chronicles did not intend to make use of any material for the purpose of harvesting gain. However, Title 17 of United States copyright law states material and use can only be done when it's for theological or general educational purposes, and thus Bible Chronicles believes that this principal material falls under fair use, which honors protection under Section 107 of the same U.S. copyright law.
Del mar los vieron llegar, mis hermanos emplumados serán los hombres barbados de la profecía esperada. Se oyó la voz del monarca de que el Dios había llegado y les abrimos la puerta por temor a lo ignorado. Iban montados en bestias, como demonios del mal, iban con fuego en las manos y cubiertos de metal. Solo el valor de unos cuantos les opuso resistencia, y al mirar correr la sangre se llenaron de vergüenza, porque los dioses ni comen ni gozan con lo robado. Y cuando nos dimos cuenta, ya todo estaba acabado, y en ese error entregamos la grandeza del pasado, y en ese error nos quedamos 300 años esclavos. Se nos quedó el maleficio de brindar al extranjero nuestra fe, nuestra cultura, nuestro pan, nuestro dinero, y le seguimos cambiando oro por cuentas de vidrio, y damos nuestras riquezas por sus espejos con brillo. Siglo XX nos siguen llegando rubios y les abrimos la casa y los llamamos amigos, pero si llega cansado un indio de andar la sierra, lo humillamos y lo vemos como extraño por su tierra. enfermedad del presente, ¿cuándo dejarás mi tierra? ¿Cuándo harás libre a mi gente?
Viene a decirnos con mucha firmeza y gran convencimiento lo mismo que nos decía en el siglo XVIII el barón de Holbach, ¿no? Un filósofo francés de origen alemán. Si nos remontamos al comienzo, entonces hallaremos que la ignorancia y el temor crearon a los dioses. La fantasía, el entusiasmo o el engaño los adornaron o desfiguraron. La debilidad les rinde culto, la credulidad los conserva, la costumbre los respeta y la tiranía los apoya para que la ceguera de los hombres sirva a sus propios intereses.
All right. Okay, check it. We're gonna get going on this. All right, fam, I got something powerful for you. I did this video and I never showed it. So it should be good. All right, this is technically live. It's 8:50 my time, California time, December 3, 2025. Title is called Mexican American Mojado. As you can see from left to right, beautiful women of ours, right, to locked up in jail now. Because that's technically what it's about. You know, it's funny because I actually talked about this a while ago, and it's literally to the T as if we're currently going through this right now. And I did this class well over a year ago, but I never showed it to you guys. So we're going to see it today. And it's fire. I'm going to tell you this right now. It's fire, so stick around, family. All right, we're going to get going. Let's see what you got. What's up, Julio? What up, brother? Good to have you here, bro. Good to have you here, brother. Man, and by the way, family, make sure you take notes, man. This is going to be fire. Let's go. This guy's called Vivek Masrami Salami. Okay? And I need you to pay attention to what he says. Now, mind you, this guy also is, his parents are from India. Okay? He was born here in this continent, in this land, in this northern part of America, just recently. He doesn't have generational bloodline in this continent, okay? I want to remind you guys of this. You know, no generational one. Just skip bottom illegal immigrant, basically. We didn't authorize him to be here. He never came and talked to our elders. As you know where I'm going with this, but let's continue. Let's go.
Under Joe Biden, we are a country in retreat.
You propose, quote, universal deportation for all undocumented immigrants and their children, even if the children are citizens of the United States. Under what legal premise will you expel U.S. citizens?
So the first thing I want to say is I agree with everything. The Republicans on the stage are on the right side of this issue. Militarize the southern border, stop funding sanctuary cities, and end foreign aid to Mexico and Central America to end the incentives to come across. But I do go a step further. You're right about that, Ilya. I favor ending birthright citizenship for the kids of illegal immigrants in this country. Now, the left will howl about the Constitution and the 14th Amendment. The difference between me and them is I've actually read the 14th Amendment. What it says is that.
So now, I'm a very particular person when it comes to what people, like in the scriptures it talks about, and I'm not going to try to mix scripture with politics, but obviously, you guys know I study. Out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. So, if you pay attention to what he's about to say, you basically are authorizing this. You could take that you could take that so-called logic to court, and then subjugate everybody that is against the law, which then you could take away their citizenship. Correct? Follow me here. Let's listen real quick.
That all persons born or naturalized in the United States and subject to the laws and jurisdiction thereof are citizens. Is that all persons born or naturalized in the United States.
All persons born or naturalized in the United States. Okay? Remember that. Pay attention. Watch.
And subject to the laws and jurisdiction thereof.
Subject to the law and jurisdiction thereof. So what does the law say? Remember.
Are citizens. So nobody believes that the kid of a Mexican diplomat in this country enjoys birthright citizenship. Not a judge or legal scholar in this country will disagree with me on that. Well, if the kid of a Mexican diplomat doesn't enjoy birthright
let's continue this.
Citizenship, then neither does the kid of an illegal migrant who broke the law to come here. And as the father of two sons, it is hard for me to look them in the eye and say, you have to follow the law when our own government fails to follow its own laws. That's how we really go the distance and solve this problem and restore the rule of law in the United States.
Okay, so you got an idea here. Now I'm gonna continue with this thing here. I find this so you're gonna see. Oh my God, this is funny to me. This is actually really, 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 really funny to me. Because the nerve of this guy, I mean, seriously, the nerve of him, man. And every single one of you that's on this bandwagon, every 4 years, the so-called Mexicans are the political puppets. Every single year. Doesn't stop. It does not stop. So now, let's listen into.
At Vistaprint, we can get your brand into your customers' hands.
I don't want to lose my space. I keep going back and losing my space. I'm not trying to be here this long because I just want to get this out the way, man. I just want to get this out the way. Let's see this real quick.
Race. Yeah.
Oh, no, that's not it. This one right here. Check this out. Oh, the hell with it.
I mean, coming.
Watch what he says again, all right?
About the future of the GOP presidential race. Joining me now to react, one of the men he spoke about, Vivek Ramaswamy, 2024 Republican presidential candidate. Vivek, nice job last night. They were all after you, but you heard what Gingrich just said a few moments ago. The race is over. It's essentially over, and the candidates, one by one, if they want a future in politics, they need to start backing Trump, drop out, and you'll have a big future in politics. Your response to Newt?
There's some things I admittedly agree with, and there's some things I disagree with. The things that I agree with are that I don't think last night's debate was actually very useful. Having second-tier candidates in the current field, and I'm admittedly among them right now in polling, tear each other down, that's not useful to our party versus actually a rich policy debate. However, everybody else is making their case versus Trump by bashing him and Monday morning quarterback.
That's me. Get this other video. Oh, there it goes right here. Man, I was looking for it. My bad, people. My bad. Don't be mad at me, man.
One of the objections I've heard
right here, right?
is that would.
I want to also tell you something. I've been in the field of, I guess you could say, listening to people vocally, like vocal, their vocals, like their pronunciation and things of that nature. Now, I'm going to tell you something. This guy works so hard to hide his accent of India. That's why you see and you hear the he like pronounces the Z's very. He, like everybody that is subjective to the insecurities of this institution, they take and rip away your spirit so then you can assimilate yourself. He's one of many. Now let's listen into this again. Look, I'm going somewhere because to me it's really funny. I'm about to show you something. It's real funny to me. Okay, let's continue.
So on the first day of my campaign, I pledged to do something that no U.S. president has done, but which every U.S. president in recent years, certainly over the last couple of decades, could have done, which is to use U.S. military force, if necessary, to address the Mexican drug cartels, who, yes, are terrorist organizations, and to solve the fentanyl crisis, which is mainly a supply-side driven crisis of fentanyl crossing our borders and killing 100,000 Americans every year. Not just the Americans it kills, but is also responsible for a homelessness epidemic in our country and broader social struggles in our country. Okay, that is a proper use of the U.S. military. One of the objections I've heard is that that would be a violation of international law, or at least international norms relating to sovereignty of the neighbor to our south. Well, that's why I said the way I'd like to first approach it is to support the next Mexican president to actually go in and take out the cartels. For a fraction of what we spend in Ukraine, we could help the Mexican government get out of the pocket of the cartels, which is where it's living today, and actually independently operate as a...
Now, I do want to say something, which is very hypocritical about of you so-called Americans of Anglo bloodline or blacks of African bloodline. I'm going to call you guys that because you're not of this continent. I can't even start saying it. Matter of fact, you know what? I'm not even going to say it. I'm going to show you because you guys obviously forget. I'm not sure why. Is it a government thing or you want to blame? You want to blame no, I don't have the picture, but I'll tell you this right now. You guys can look up the statistics. Matter of fact, you know what? We'll do it right now. Matter of fact, we'll do it right now. Show you something real quick. Watch this. How many deaths per year due to alcohol in America? Okay. The analysis says here 95,000, okay, annually, plus 10,000, plus 47,000. You understand this? Every year, about 150,000 people die of alcohol. All right? About 140,000 people die of alcohol every single year, and it's increasing. It's getting ridiculously increased. Matter of fact, you know what's so horrible? You know what the most horrible thing is? That is affecting the women most than anybody. You can compare fentanyl. Matter of fact, compare fentanyl, guns, cocaine, heroin, whatever it is you want to try. Alcohol is the number one killer. The number one drug that is sold at the counter. Matter of fact, Oxycontin, right? The reason they were able to sell it in the first place was because they falsified the info. Any medicine that is in the book, in the shelf, if it has more than 2% addiction potentiality, they take it off the, they take it off the counter. Well, guess what? Alcohol has more than 10% addiction rate. But you don't see no governors or publicans or Republicans. Hey, Republicans, where are you guys at? No, because you guys love to drink too. You're a bunch of drunks. Democrats, where are you guys at? You want to know why you want to attack another people? Because guess what? It's like this. Do you guys realize that in Mexico, the guns are not allowed? Where do you think they get the guns from? Are they blaming? Oh, well, matter of fact, when Mexico wants to blame America about this gun thing that's happening over there, they say, well, you guys are uncivilized. You need to learn how to use the guns. Well, that's what they say. Well, you guys are uncivilized because you getting drunk and high and drunk. But no, blame it on other people's. Blame some other people on your mistakes. Now, why am I going with this? I'm showing this again because I want to show you this video. And for me, it was let me just play it. Let me show you this real quick. All right. He said it. Let me see if he continues saying it in here.
A sovereign state to take out the cartels that effectively pose a threat to the Mexican government itself. Unfortunately, I think the cartels have a policy of what they call, what do they say, silver or lead. What does that mean? That means silver to bribe the government officials.
Oh my God! That was a saying in the movie. He got it from the movie, from the documentary. Plomo o plata. That was what Pablo Escobar said. Nobody says that now. See what I'm saying? Well, let's continue. The hypocrisy of you from India. The hypocrisy, I'm telling you right now. I'm going to show you how hypocritically funny and ignorant and dumb you are. You guys need to do your homework on each other.
Or led to shoot them, and they're using both. So what do we have? We have a failed narco state. And I'll be really clear about this. Under the principles of international law, the sovereign government of every nation has a responsibility to control for non-state actors within their borders who create real violations of international law, including through violence, for other states on the global map, for other nations on the global map. That's exactly what's happening with the failed narco state to the south. The Mexican government is neither willing nor able to address the non-state actors, these terrorist organizations, these drug cartels that are now killing.
I could get here and kind of start giving you guys a breakdown of why it doesn't, in your eyes, it doesn't seem obvious that there's change. Like every good tree, you got to make sure that the root is well set, and you got to start somewhere. But anyways, that's not the point here. Okay. So let's see if this guy says it. He says it here. I think maybe.
Here's the other objection I hear is that, oh, well, why are you blaming the cartels? They're just supplying what the U.S. is, customers are demanding. That's bunk. You got to look at the facts. Why did the fentanyl crisis actually start? It didn't come out of nowhere. It's supply side driven.
The fentanyl started because you morons approve Oxycontin, which is an oxymoron to be arguing about it now. It's kind of stupid. Quite frankly, you're going to argue about the void that you created. It was you guys, people in power, that allowed this Shackler guy to pursue a bunch of billions for the sake of souls. And now you want to blame somebody because it's a supply and demand? I mean, how come you guys don't... matter of fact, when it comes to people like with alcohol, right? Like I showed you, 50,000 people die per year. You guys don't give a damn. The number one killer, the silent assassin. No, it's fentanyl because Mexicans did it. But Mexicans are dying at the guns of the American guns. And then you're saying, well, it's not our fault. It's because you Mexican did it. So everything that they do or don't do, it's their fault. That's what it seems like to me.
Chinese manufacturers, what's called them manufacturers, are sending in raw materials cheaply that expand the profit margins of the cartels. They buy their cost of goods more inexpensively and they still sell them for the same price. That expands the profit margin. And now there's good evidence that actually Chinese people south of our own border, people from China, that have come over to actually manufacture.
Okay, remember, now he's saying Chinese people are coming over here. Let's go.
Take the fentanyl that they view as their next step of an opium war to undermine the United States because they're using actual fentanyl across the southern border.
Okay, first of all, I something real quick. I want to show you because I think it's important to show you right now. I think it's important. Very important. Very, 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 very important. So he's talking about, drugs and all that, right? Let me show you this picture here real quick. This is a map of the Gringo land, Gringolandia. Every direction where you see this line land is where there was the coup d'etat. Remember the violent overthrow of a nation through a systematic approach might be the economic hitman? Every single one. Cuba, Puerto Rico, Nicaragua, Hawaii, Chile, Brazil, Africa continent, Eastern continent, the Philippines. Where else, family? Every single place. Now, we're only targeting these areas here. This area here, and this area here. So this economic hitman, on behalf of Gringolandia, decimated the economy of each nation. We saw the videos. Let's look at it again. Okay, I think it's important that you guys pay attention. Listen,
you're about to launch your website, but then you realize your domain.
You only talk when I allow you to talk. All right, so check it. It's a very interesting little sketch, I guess, or whatever you guys are gonna call it. All right, let's go.
We economic hitmen have managed to create the world's first truly global empire, and it's basically a secret empire. We do it many ways, but principally, we identify a country that has resources our corporations covet, like oil, range a huge loan to that country from the World Bank or one of its.
They lend a huge amount of money, like, for example, when something doesn't work out, like, wait, listen, we're going to come in your land and, we're going to do this and that. We're going to give you money, but then we're going to do this as well. Let's continue.
Sisters, the money never actually goes to the country. It goes to our own corporations to build big infrastructure projects in that country that help a few very wealthy people, but don't benefit them.
So let's remember this little spot here. Imagine like Nicaragua, Salvador, Mexico, for that matter. A lot of these lands used to be farmlands, right? So a lot of people depended on farm agriculture, like bananas, fruits, and all that stuff, right? Well, imagine the bigwig coming over and saying, "Hey, move out the way, sucker. My turn."
Projects in that country that help a few very wealthy people, but don't benefit the majority of the people who are too poor to buy electricity or have cars to drive on the highways, and yet they're left holding a huge debt that they can't repay. So we go back at some point and say, you can't pay your debts. Give us a pound of flesh. Sell your oil real cheap to our oil companies. Vote with us on the next critical UN vote. Allow us to build a military base.
And if you don't, then you can consider the coup d'etat. Let's go. Or if it's a lot of these coup d'etats, right, were men that were elected so-called democratically by the people, not by Gringolandia people. Because of that, they could also do a coup d'etat. Now, there's a reason why there's a lot of people coming. We see this problem, a problem that now it's like those men that have babies that left and right, and then they're complaining because now they have child support. Hint.
In your backyard, something along these lines. And when we fail, the jackals go in and either overthrow or assassinate these leaders. And if the jackals fail, as they did in Iraq, then we send in the military. I don't think the failure is capitalism. I think it's a specific kind of capitalism that we've developed. We've created what I consider.
Doesn't that remind you of somewhere? Hawaii. No offense to you, brothers, on my islander brothers. That's very sad, man. Prayers. I prayed for y'all. That's anyways. We see this all over again.
Consider a mutant, viral form of capitalism. And this mutant form of capitalism, which I think is really a predatory form of capitalism, has created an extremely unstable, unsustainable, unjust, and very, very dangerous world. I've met a lot of terrorists. I've interviewed them.
That's what exactly Gringolandia has created. Yeah, let's continue. Watch. I'll show you something.
For books, I've never met one who wanted to be a terrorist. They're desperate people. If we want to get rid of terrorism, we must get rid of the root causes, that cancer that is destroying our whole system. Because I think it's really important that we understand today we cannot have homeland security unless we understand that the whole planet is our homeland.
Now, here's just what exactly the attitude of Gringolandia. You see, this is the attitude you guys have carried for quite some time. You demanded to be, I guess you could say, in this oppressive state. But let's continue in.
Digital fentanyl in the form of TikTok, and what I say sometimes is financial fentanyl in the form of national debt. We've grown addicted to China. That's a bigger long-run challenge, but in the short run, there's something we can actually do. We can use the U.S. military to secure our southern border. Don't just build the wall. Build the wall and arm the wall, actually with a military that protects our southern border, so it's not a piece of Swiss cheese, which it is today, but also to be able to actually solve the fentanyl crisis. You want to solve problems in America, actually solve the problems that are literally killing Americans by the tens and hundreds of thousands. And if our military was created to do something, it was created to do that. And I've talked to people in the military. I mean, it's not like the people who serve in the United States, from the DA to the military, wouldn't be interested in doing this. Of course they would. It's just that for some reason, the defense establishment views this as an uncouth thing to say. I'm glad to see it's becoming a more popular idea. I see Lindsey Graham proposing legislation now. I see other political candidates carefully feeling their way and doing their polls to test whether or not this is a popular issue as they dip their toes into saying the same thing. You know, we've seen that happen with my proposal to shut down the Department of Education. Now other candidates are slowly starting to dip their toes into that same water.
The water of going to war with next door. I'm gonna show you something real quick. Let me actually save this a little bit, and then I'm gonna be done. I'm gonna be done. Let's continue, because I find this very interesting. Let me put it here in the queue. Sorry, hold on, family. I'm trying to put these things in the queue real quick. All right, here we go. In case y'all don't know who I am, you may get used to me. You may not. You may not like me. Oh, well, too bad. So now, let's go to this one. What's the next step here? Well, first off, we hear that they want to invade. Put, what do you call it? Military recording. I understand it can be a crisis, but I'm not a hypocrite. You can't all of a sudden turn your back on all the children you created, for example. And it's like, I didn't know. I didn't know. Nah, you guys created this mess. And now you feel like it's someone else's job to clean it up. No, it's not. Everybody pays. So now let's listen to what this orangutan has to say.
With today's termination of the final remnants of Title 42, Joe Biden has officially abolished what remained of America's borders and turned the United States into a dumping ground for illegal aliens from all over the world. We've become a third world nation. At this very moment, illegal aliens are lined up by the tens of thousands, ready to break into our country, knowing that even if they are caught, Joe Biden will order them immediately released into American communities. And many of these people are very dangerous. Under Biden, our border is gone, our sovereignty is gone. Our national security is gone, and we are quickly becoming that third world nation that I've been talking about for so long. It's happening to us, if you can believe that. The United States of America is now a third world nation. On day one of my new administration, I will end this travesty and restore the sovereign borders of the United States of America. We will immediately resume expedited removals of people that are crossing illegally our border. And following the model of President Eisenhower, we will use all necessary federal, state, local, and military resources to begin the largest domestic deportation effort in American history, to send the border violators back to their home countries. And
the largest deportation in the history of America. Yes, sir. Watch this.
We will do that immediately. This invasion will not stand. Our country is being invaded. Our country is being destroyed by very, very stupid people. These are
You see this?
stupid people. We have to get them out. We have.
He just listened to what he said. You Mexicans are stupid people. I'm going to tell you why. You say, "Oh, no, that you're trying to say." No, no, no. The connotation of illegal immigrant or alien, whatever, or wetback is Mexicans. So listen to this again. Don't ignore this.
Is being invaded. Our country is being destroyed by very, very stupid people. These are stupid people. We have to get them out. We have to take back the White House.
So in the same breath, they don't say, he didn't mean the immigrants, he meant the people in the White House. Of course. That's what he supposedly meant, right? So now let's listen to this here. I'm going to bring you back, and then now I'm going to show you.
It's everything you wish for. Your site traffic.
Video first. The hypocrisy. Because obviously he's like, the Mexicans, these Mexicans, right? So let's listen into what he says, and I'm going to show you a video right now, all right? And then we're going to read a book, and then I should be a couple of videos, and that's it. Let's go.
First up, we're going to preview Wednesday night is the second Republican presidential debate. And one of the stars of the first debate joins us now, somebody who's going to be at the center of the stage, our friend Vivek Ramaswamy, 2024 candidate, co-founder of Strive Asset Management, author of Nations of Victims. I might add, a great entrepreneur in the biotech space. Vivek, welcome back to the show. I want to switch gears away from polls. Okay, I want to leave polls alone for a minute, unless you're dying to talk about polls. What I want to ask you, a couple things. I know you have a new budget plan, and, or at least budget thoughts, and I'm going to get to that too. But Vivek, headlines, besides this ABC poll, headlines are at the southern border and the absolute catastrophe going on down there with numbers, that are virtually beyond belief. And I want to get your thoughts on that, because I think in this debate Wednesday night, you and your colleagues and the other candidates will be asked for specifics how to handle the border and how to replace Joe Biden's catastrophic failure.
So, look, I think Biden has been a national disaster, a border crisis of historic proportions that we haven't seen, a triple whammy of rising prices, rising interest rates, and flatline wages that we haven't seen since the Carter era, weaponization of the DOJ to corruption at the highest ranks. There's no doubt about it, Larry, that Biden is that national disaster. But I'm a little bit of a contrarian here. I don't think we're going to win this election just by talking about Joe Biden's failures. I think we have to talk about our own vision about what we're actually going to do to revive this country, how we're going to shut down the administrative state, how we're going to rescind a majority of those unconstitutional federal regulations that act like a wet blanket on the U.S. economy. We're going to shut down our military to seal that southern border rather than just complaining about it, clearly declaring independence from China, making sure that we're not dependent on our enemy for our modern way of life. That is what's going to win us this election, not just criticizing the radical left, which I think we've done a lot of. But that's why the red wave in 2022 never came. We have to stand for a vision of our own. And Larry, I think that's what's a little bit different about me than traditional partisan politicians, is that I'm actually leading us to run to something. And I'm hopeful that's what's going to lead us to success.
Well, of course, I love constructive proposals. Spent the better part of my career on that point. But Vivek, I do want to ask, on the border, you mentioned the military. There's two items that come.
Now they're going to talk about, hey, by the way, brothers who are here, So I had this class ready to go, right? And I didn't even start it because apparently YouTube didn't like this thumbnail. They blocked me. Like literally, they asked me. So I can't even do classes for 2 weeks on Bible Chronicles. That's why I'm on Rumble. Okay, that's why. Anyways, let's continue. But no, anyway, let's get into the topic. Okay, let's talk about the border now. Now let's pay attention. You see, remember, family, it's important. That's why I love history. I love history, man. I love history. I love reading about it, and I'm talking about from the 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. I'm so happy that our Father has put that spirit on me to really thoroughly understand or want to understand the historical aspect of what goes on in our lives, because you get to hear people repeat themselves over and over and over again, and then you see the joke of the joke's on you, sucker. Anyway, let's go.
To mind, number one, the failure of the Mexican military. Trump persuaded AMLO to put 15,000 troops or 20,000 troops on the border in order to help us with the Remain in Mexico policy. I don't know where you stand on that, but that's one point I want to ask you. And the second point is the matter of deportation. Mr. Trump just spoke in Iowa last week, and he mentioned going back to the 1950s, the so-called Eisenhower Plan, which deported over 1 million illegal immigrants at the time. In your judgment, Vivek, besides Remain in Mexico, should there be a deportation policy?
The answer to that is yes. And I've talked about Eisenhower quite a bit on the campaign trail. If we're a nation founded on the rule of law, we have to stand for the rule of law. And we can't look our kids in the eye and say, you have to follow the law, if the government itself does not follow.
So I also want to bring up a point here. It's excellent time to bring up a point. You cannot be selective when it's convenient. You say, oh, this country is founded on the law, meaning the Constitution of 1776, right? So then you constitutionalists, you guys always run to this Constitution of 1776, which means you want to honor the whole Constitution for its purity, meaning that now, whenever we look back at, well, what was my family doing in 1776 when you guys were writing this Constitution? Oh, shoot. Are you telling me, man, my people were getting enslaved by you guys? Oh, and at the same time, they were taking land through head-right programs, right? By bringing slaves across. Yeah, it's another topic. But anyways, let's go.
Follow the law either. So I think the only answer, Larry, is in a humane and as respectful of a manner, deport the family unit back to the country of origin when they are here illegally. I will never break apart families. I'm a pro-family person. But you have to take the family unit and return them back to the country of origin. I support, of course, the Remain in Mexico policy. I support finishing the wall. But I would go further.
So remember the topic Eisenhower. The topic Eisenhower. So the Eisenhower thing, right? I don't know if you guys have heard this. Eisenhower. Watch this real quick. I'm going to show you this real quick. See, it's important to understand history because then you'll know what they're talking about. You'll hear their voice like, oh, I know what you're saying now. You just don't want to say it. So let's listen to what they're saying. Oh, come on, man.
Country that had a border.
Okay, let's listen to this real quick. And I'm gonna show you something.
Upon my inauguration, I will terminate every open border policy of the Biden administration and commence the largest deportation operation in American history. We have no choice. This is not sustainable. You don't have to know very much to know. I looked at Tucson, Arizona today. Did you see that? Thousands and thousands of people all over. People walk out of their house, they say, what's happened to our beautiful place? But this is in many towns and cities all over. Look at New York City. But you see New York, but you don't see other places so much. And it's happening like that. Much worse, actually, much worse. This is not sustainable. No country can sustain it or financially can sustain it. Nobody could possibly sustain something like this. And they're putting young children into schools who don't speak any English, and they're in school. Nobody is there to teach them. They're sitting in class. They don't understand.
That's a lie, but anyways, let's go.
understand anything that's going on in the school. It's a horrible situation, and it would have never happened in a year. We had the strongest border in history. Now we have the worst border in the history of the world. There's never been a third world country that had a border like this, ever. There's never been anything like it. We built nearly 500 miles of border wall. You know, they like to say.
Okay, so they didn't build anything. Remember, he keeps saying Eisenhower, right? Eisenhower. Who's this Eisenhower? Who is this Eisenhower? All right, so in case you guys don't know, Eisenhower was the so-called individual that authorized this right here. Okay, this right here.
There's one simple hearing hack.
Sorry. This right here. Oh man, I don't want, just play the video for God's sakes, bro. Yeah, I'll just play it here. So Eisenhower,
have you tried Wix or
was the president that was behind Operation Wetback? Hold on a second. Yes, that's exactly what they're talking about. Donald Trump and Vivek Salami. They're talking about Operation Wetback. Okay? Eisenhower. And I'm going to read something. Matter of fact, I found a thesis. I found it real interesting because it actually says what I wanted to say. I mean, much more eloquently. And I'm going to read it and then and that's it. I haven't been feeling well, fam. I've been sleeping 2 hours, waking up, sleeping 2 hours, waking up. I've had some thoughts, you know, anyways. It just says I haven't been resting well. But let's go. All right. So let's find out. Remember, they mentioned the biggest operation, Eisenhower. You know, you're right. And I'm an advocate of that. Okay. This is what they're saying. Operation Wetback. So we're going to find out what happens in Operation Wetback.
Yeah, my name is Miguel Levario. I'm an associate professor of history at Texas Tech University and author of Militarizing the Border When Mexicans Became the Enemy. Between 1944 and 1954, when Operation Wetback went into effect, it was known by some scholars and by the INS as the decade of the wetback, the idea that our borders are being invaded by unauthorized immigrants from Mexico especially. You know, we also have the dawn of the Cold War. The United States was very much aware or felt that its borders were quite porous, needed to be secure to a degree because of the threat of a nuclear attack. I believe it was the FBI who would give out public service announcements on radios telling people to be vigilant of an unassuming migrant crossing the river in a ragtag suit, in a ragtag suitcase, that don't believe that they're not threatening, that they could actually fit an atomic bomb and threaten our livelihood. And these were public service announcements that they would use. So this idea of vigilance, national security, were definitely on the radar and definitely in the public mindset in the early years of the Cold War. And immigration kind of fell in through that. Border Patrol had started to become more and more formal. They started to become more aggressive in their tactics, you know, setting up roadblocks, doing raids. What we have here is an aggressive and sort of paramilitary approach into deportation and mass deportation, and of course the use of propaganda to address the issue of unauthorized Mexican workers in the United States. Because the Border Patrol agency was so small, I mean, they're using local law enforcement. So while they're out there trying to look for undocumented immigrants, what aren't they doing? Their own basic responsibilities of keeping neighborhoods safe, addressing burglaries, murders, whatever it could be. The Operation Wetback was terminated in large part because of cost, in large part because of it just became too taxing on local resources. What we also found out is that regardless of how far you sent them into the interior, within days, sometimes weeks, we're right back in there. It wasn't as successful as the Border Patrol made it out to be, but they had to save face, as it is. And we understand with politics, they didn't solve the issue, obviously, because we've revisited that issue in every decade since the 1920s.
We're going to show this, and this is why I tell you I love history, because you're seeing this repeat itself over and over and over again and again and again. So at what point is it real? It's kind of like, that whole cry wolf, whatever, like that, the wolf is here, and it's a lie. Eventually you just got to find out that this is all a lie. But hey, you guys that are loving conspiracy theories, Republicans, Democrats, all you voters of the Gringolandias here, you're going to find out it's going to hurt you right in the butt, ducks, what I'm going to show you. Because every time these guys say, like Eisenhower, yeah, the massive deportation, you guys have no idea what you're saying. You have no idea what that entails. Do you understand the fear? Not being able to sleep at night. Millions of people were deported, so-called Mexican Americans, born on this side, on this line here, that never left. They were deported because they look like me, like him. That's the operation that they're talking about, Eisenhower. They want to bring that back.
Today, our politicians, which I think incorrectly, but our politicians don't separate immigration with national security or even drug smuggling or any kind of smuggling of illicit goods. They kind of lump them all together as if they're all the same thing, which is grossly inaccurate.
And, there's no better way to show you this than to actually read this, man. Check this out. Let me see if I can get this. No, okay, so we're talking about that's right. Let me not forget this, okay? Because he said something else too that hold on, let me close this real quick. There it goes right there. Let me close this. Let me close this and this. Oh, no, not that. Oh, there we go. Okay. So this is from it's a thesis that I found. Pretty interesting. Disposable Mexican. Let me see if I can magnify it. Beautiful. University of Texas, Rio Grande Valley, thesis and dissertation. It says Operation Wetbag of 1954. The deportation of undocumented workers in California and Texas. That's just the undocumented, not even considering the actual documented ones, right? So this particular person, I like this. I've read it. I haven't read it all, obviously, but what I read so far, I was like, you know what? Okay. And it's supported, that it's here. A disposable Mexican Operation Wetbag, Operation Wetbag, 1954. The deportation of undocumented workers in California and Texas. I believe people that write a thesis is because they want to have a doctorate, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, I think so. Submitted to the Graduate School of University of Texas Pan American in partial fulfillment of the requirements for the degree of Master Arts. Oh, I think so. A master's. That's right. A master's. I think that's. I'm not college educated, man. 1997. It's signed by Dr. Rocha, Faubion, Adir. As you can see, committee members. So okay, sounds good, right? Again, I'm not saying this is a so-called something to glorify. No. I like what she says, and I'm going to read you the highlighted parts. Because it's going to be in the Operation Wetbag in California and political social operations here and illegal immigration. So it's just certain parts. Very interesting stuff here. Okay. Let's go to the highlighted part. Okay, let me see if I can. 19. I'll just start with this. Just to intro them real quick, right? It says here, when they need our work, they call us migrants. After the harvest, we are bums and have to get out. This sentiment, expressed by an unknown Mexican migrant worker, described a common attitude directed towards Mexican undocumented workers. Mexican laborers are often portrayed as the germ. that are destroying America. Do we not hear that? 1917, you so-called Mexicans, you need to start remembering. In 1917, your abuelos who were coming from Mexico to work here in America were getting fumigated with those DDTs, you know, that yeah, almost every day, right? Because supposedly we carry germs, although many of these workers are encouraged to migrate into the United States. Okay, so anyways, they blame the Mexicans for everything. Wetbag, that's the first term. First time being used in Eisenhower time. You'll see. Now, chapter 2, illegal immigration and the Bracero program. The very interesting thesis. I'd suggest for you guys to read it. Let's get to the, you know, it's funny. Let me get to this point. Here goes all that. Watch this. The illegal migration that followed the Immigration Act of 1917. That is also 1917 gas bath at the border. See, the gas bath riot. This is real stuff. They were fumigating our brothers and sisters. Yeah. This is real. Report of medical inspection of immigrants, beaners, wetbags. Yeah. This is what they did. As a matter of fact, this is the technique that they use in the so-called Holocaust. And I call it so-called. Look, they would put it in line and you'd have to cross there every day. They could check you. They'd get all our sisters, our mothers, our abuelas naked, inspect them in their crevices by men. See, kind of like the same way they did it to the so-called Asians. Look, this is DDT. This is DDT. That's what kills the cucarachas in Mexico. Very popular. DDT. Watch this. DDT fumiga. It was like this right here. Look at that. Insect killer. Man, this thing DDT fumiga pump. What is it? A pump? We used to have one of these. No, man, not that. Oh, like that. Here it goes like that. It's like this. Bam. I say DDT and goes. You see a cockroach, man, you spray that thing. Zancudos también. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, in the air, in the sky, in the air. Huh? Hey, for this for real, man. That's and you know they would spray this on. There you go. Look, it's not a joke. Look. And you so-called Mexicans, you guys are forgetting this, and you're gonna be involved politically. These subliminal messages, they're called dog whistles. This is dog whistle. Eisenhower. Oh, I'm gonna use the Eisenhower approach. Oh, you mean you're going to wet operation wetback us again? You're gonna deport me and my wife and my kids because we look Mexicans? And you know, it's funny because this doesn't happen to no other nation in the world. Anyways, so let's continue. Very interesting, but I'm going to get to the point. Here we go. On January 6, 1931, the Secretary of Labor, William N. Doak, asked Congress to appropriate funds for the immediate deportation of over 400,000 illegal aliens residing in the country. This is in 1931. Yeah, hey, that's around the years I was born, bro. Thank you, sir. They used to be mounted on pickup trucks and spray the neighborhood. Yeah. Oh man. Whoa. Yeah, bro. That's wow. You know what? I believe that, and that's how they were doing it to your aliens. They were doing that to us too. Watch this, and that's because you know what? The DDT, el DDT, it has a chemical, a cancerous chemical in it. Man, I have a book called The War Against Puerto Rico or something like that. It's an interesting book. Anyways, it says in the series of, and let's watch this. So an immediate deportation of over 400,000 illegal aliens residing in the country. Is this in 1931? They're talking about it still. It says in the series of repatriation and deportation drives and staged throughout the Great Depression, over 500,000 Mexicans and American citizens of Mexican descent were aggressively, Vivek, both you, Vivek, and Donald Trump, both of your parents are not from this country. Oh, my dear Jesus. Hold on a second. Vivek, it's for your mama. It's for your daddy. Hey, Trump. Shut your face, hypocritical people. You're a hypocritical nation of people. The nerve of you. Mexican citizens of Mexican descent were aggressively and inhumanely uprooted and cast out of a nation that only years earlier had encouraged them to cross the border. Typical, huh? But no, let's use Eisenhower. Let's use the famous Eisenhower law. Let's continue. And then we're going to be done. Not going to take too long. Yeah, I don't care anyways. Not like you care. Chapter 3. The controversy surrounding the presence of the undocumented workers in the U.S. emerged from two groups, which were distinct motivations. Watch this. Those who oppose the illegal entry of Mexican laborers. Republicans generally represented social welfare organizations. They consume all the medical costs. Labor unions, they take our jobs. Mexican American organizations, you haters. Some of you guys who you call yourselves, and listen, I know you're gonna hurt your butt, but that whole thought of Chicano, all you're doing is you basically calling yourself like a Negro, because that's what the white man used against y'all. And the reality is, Mexicano. You just want to take the MA. You always will. If you're Mexican, you're gonna always be Mexican. I don't know why you guys use that Chicano stuff. Honestly, it's to me, it makes no sense. It's a white man title that gave. I know you guys are saying historically. No, I've done my homework. It's white man gave it to you. And you know the funny part is that the brown beret came out of Chicago. That's another story. Anyways, it says here, small farmers and religious groups who believe that the undocumented Mexican workers was a threat to social, political, and economic stability of the country. This is in the 1950s. We're seeing this in 1930, 1940, 1950. Watch this. In 1950, President Truman created the President's Commission on Migratory Labor in order to thoroughly investigate the problem and questions pertaining to migratory labor involved American agriculture. After years of struggling for validation, the argument of anti-wetbag organizations were finally given credence. You see that? The arguments of anti-wetbag organizations were finally given credence. The Commission on Migratory Labor found that the Bracero program had not decreased illegal immigration, but encouraged influx. They contributed to a decrease in wages and an increase in unemployment on wetbacks, and suspected their presence attributed to the neglect of domestic migratory work. In addition, undocumented workers were viewed as the pawns of agricultural interest groups who did nothing to protect them from the mistreatment and abuse. You know, I find that very interesting because these people here, these farmers that get incentives, subsidized money, are the same ones that hired them. And they're the last people that they keep them out. You don't see nobody, none of them fighting for, oh yeah, we need migrant workers, but you ain't fighting. You're not using your muscle for the people that work. No, you use them and you abuse them and you're done. Trump, yeah, he's German. It's funny, Vivek. Gotcha, bitch. Your parents are from India. Gotcha, bitch. And nobody appreciates the smell of the food they carry. Sorry. Yeah, I'm not going to get personal. That's stupid. Anyways, it says here, members of the President's Commission had visited El Paso Valley, the Rio Grande Valley, and the Imperial Valley, which were areas with the highest concentration of, quote-unquote, illegals. Damn beaners. A member who was horrified with these conditions stated, I have seen with my own eyes people living in these shacks and sheds, getting their water to use, drink, and cook without the irrigation ditches. No type of sanitary facilities. Bathing or toiletry facilities of any kind within sight. They lived in shacks that wouldn't put up a horse, that I wouldn't put a horse in. As you can see, before that, we read how these agriculturers, they didn't give a damn about our people. They need you, but then they don't. Opponents ridicule the commission's reports and accuse it of lacking justifiable evidence. The three government agencies most directly involved in the wetback situation, watch this, the Department of Labor, the State Department, and the Department of Justice, all agreed with the commission that action was imperative, but would not commit themselves to any definite measures. Officials in the State Department were concerned with the quote-unquote wetback situation, particularly, meaning you Mexicans, because of the negative effect it had on U.S. and Mexico relations. Mexico blamed the U.S. growers for encouraging the illegal exodus of Mexican citizens and wanted the federal government to rectify the situation. However, Gringolandia, who loves to do this, the State Department was not enthusiastic about ending the Bracero program, even though they agreed that it was not providing an effective deterrent to illegal immigration. You see that? So they use you. It's kind of like those guys that are in the closet. You know what I'm saying? Like they have sex with men. You know, you've seen it in their movies, right? They have sex with men, but then they hurt them. Like they hate them. You know what I mean? It's like that. It's like you need them, but you hate them. It's weird. Now, the reason I'm saying this is because I was watching Jeffrey Dahmer. It's like he needed them, but he hated them. There was a disgusting aspect of what he was. Anyway, sorry, man. Just watching shows, you know. Officials in labor departments also agreed with commission's report, but would not offer such solutions. On the other hand, the Justice Department, meaning people that make these laws, judicial department, you know, like the judicial law, right? Like the judges, not the criminal law, the judicial law, the ones that can really make these laws happen, which supervise the United States Immigration and Naturalization Service, agreed that action was needed, but realized they did not possess the strength to enforce strict measures. Attorney General J. Howard McGraw did not wish to condone employers for here he goes. Attorney General Howard McGraw did not wish to condone employers for encouraging the illegal immigration of their employees and disagreed with any penalty legislation that would hold them accountable. It's still happening today. The double standard of you guys. Let me see that. Those millions recently crossing the border are bros from Central and South country, not Mexicans. If you review the immigration law, they join them. Yeah, I know that. But that's why I said when you say illegal immigrants or illegal aliens, the connotation is Mexican. So I'm just slapping everybody around because that's technically what they say. They don't isolate the Venezuelans. They don't say Salvadoreños. They say illegal aliens. The connotation is Mexican. I know that the majority are from Central. If you watched from the beginning, you would see that was my initial mentioning. And yes, Mexicans are still reclicking and return, but not as. Yeah, I know. I just, you know, the common sense Republican concept is if you're illegal alien, you're Mexican. You could be Salvadoreño, you're Mexican. Anyway, look, check this out. So he's not holding the companies accountable. McGraw blames Mexico's failing economy for the increase of illegal immigration. See, again, blaming them for fentanyl, blaming them for jobs being taken, blaming them for a failed economy, and stated that the invasion, don't we hear this often? This is in 1950. Would continue regardless of whether the commission report became an administrative policy or not. Check this out. The American public tended to view the wetback situation, quote unquote, wetback, as an isolated problem confined to the southwest border area. Watch this. It was not until 1951 that magazines and newspapers, this is where you talk about Khazarians, they are the ones that power the media. They also had their 2 cents into it, like this guy here. This bastard right here. Yeah, I didn't get away from me. This bastard right here. This douchebag. This son of a, this this guy right here. This a Khazarian so-called Jew, which is I don't believe you guys are. I think you guys are the devil of the Bible. He passed a law to separate children from their parents. And this guy was nuts. Look, take a picture of that. Okay, just take a snapshot of that one. Take a snapshot of that one. Snapshot of that one. Snapshot of that one. Snapshot of that one. That one. That one. That one. And that one. That right there. He was having a conversation with somebody. And they're like, this guy's really crazy. Supposedly, so-called the Jewish people who supposedly went through the Holocaust, supposedly, are the ones passing laws to treat us like in a horrendous manner. The guy is a lunatic. Check this. It was not until 1951 that the magazines and newspapers began displaying the interest in the wetback, quote-unquote wetback, and the impact they were having on American society. Virtually overnight, meaning like that. The American people became informed about the problem plaguing the Southwest and how these problems would soon affect all Americans. You see this, family? Are we not seeing this often? Repetitive? Increasing crime rates. Watch this. Okay. Groups such as the American GI Forum, the American Federation of Labor, and the American media, Jewish-owned fake Jew, Khazarians, focus on the negative effects of the undocumented worker and charge illegal immigrants, okay? So we're always the problem, with increasing crime rate. You see this? Are we not saying, aren't they saying the cartels? The cartels, we need to go over there because the cartels. Narcotic use. They're the ones giving us fentanyl. Fentanyl. Oh, it's coke, heroin, fentanyl. It's because they're Mexicans. Welfare costs. You see, oh, now we're bringing people here and the economy is going to be destroyed. And spreading disease. 1917, typhus. Lice. The Barcelo program. Wetbacks were depicted as corrupt. What did Donald Trump say? What did he say? He said it's the Mexicans are murderers. Hold on a second. Donald. Watch this. Here goes right here.
Our country is in serious trouble. When do we beat Mexico at the border? They're laughing at us, at our stupidity. The U.S. has become a dumping ground for everybody else's problems. When Mexico sends its people, they're not sending their best. They're not sending you. They're not sending you. They're sending people that have lots of problems, and they're bringing those problems with us. They're bringing drugs, they're bringing crime, they're rapists, and some, I assume, are good people. But I speak.
See? Wetbacks are depicted as corrupt and sinister individuals who infiltrated the border with the sole purpose of robbing decent, hardworking white people. You decent, hardworking white people. Americans are their jobs. Taking my job. Damn Bader, taking my job. Funny part is they already have legal papers and they're still living on shelters. I know, huh? Check this out. These nativists, the so-called ones that call themselves Americans. You guys are not Americans, okay? I'm never going to call you that. I'm going to call you Anglos, Europeans. And for black folks, I'm going to call you guys Africans, West Africans, because you're not of America. Let me see what you're saying. Just that all across our borders and many staying here, even white USA people that work remotely and not paying taxes, they complain to speak English in their community. I know, dude, I know. Hey, no. Los Venezolanos. Yeah. Oh, wow. I didn't know that. The nativists dedicated themselves to gathering as much information as possible concerning problems. Oh, European settlers. Yeah, African settlers and European settlers. I'm not going to call you guys Americans. You're not America. You are European settlers. You're a European illegal immigrants, illegal aliens. European illegal aliens and African illegal aliens. Specifically West Africans. themselves, that's it, dedicated themselves to gather as much information as possible concerning problems attributed to the wetback, quote unquote, influx. Their cause studies were used to reinforce their argument that penalty legislation and immigration restraints were crucial. The most vocal in 1951, the National Farm Labor Union complained to the Department of Labor that commercial growers were using laborers imported from Mexico. Continue. The group with the most direct connection to illegal immigrants was the Mexican American community. You see that? What is it called? Reino? That's what I meant, bro. The group with the most direct connection or connotation to illegal immigrant or wetback or beaner or spick. Well, Puerto Ricans, but that's mostly in the East Coast. Was the Mexican American community or Mexicans. Americans of Mexican descent generally supported stricter immigration restrictions because the presence of undocumented workers had led to the depressed wages and unemployment. No, it's called stupid assimilation. I want to be like the other nation. That's what it is. But many were torn by this issue. Mexican Americans recognized the illegals, quote unquote, were being exploited and abused by employers who viewed their access to them as a profound capitalistic right to cheap labor. Yeah. That's kind of what's going on in America. You guys don't build anything anymore. And you're wondering why. Joining Mexican Americans, organizations representing minority groups frequently employed as migratory workers express their support for migration restraints. Watch this. The National Association for the Advancement of Colored People, the NAACP, became concerned when both quote-unquote braceros, meaning illegal aliens, right? Or wetbacks, they just didn't want to say it, and undocumented workers were traveling into states that generally employed black migrant laborers. The NAACP blamed the importation of Mexican nationals. Aren't they not doing that now? Do you not see black people now going and voting for, I'm going to vote for Trump now. Mexican nationals for the increase their unemployment among black field workers in the South. Well, I mean, let me just say something. Y'all cannot work Mexicans or Hispanics. If they get to work the field, you can't work them. Cannot outwork them, which is what happens. They just saw that you guys aren't producing. Sorry. But the hardest workers in the world are so-called Mexicans. That's a fact. I'm not lying. Statistically, it's true. In an article in the New Republic, George Stitt, a black field worker living in Arkansas, explained how the wetback, quote-unquote, situation affected him. You see that? The importation of Mexican nationals did not begin until 1949. Sure. I like how they separate us, this part here, with the natives. Other groups included the Congress of American Indians, meaning the $5 ones, who testified before the Congressional Committee on Agriculture regarding the detrimental effects of quote-unquote illegal immigrants was having on the 33,000 Native American migratory workers in the United States. Wow. Yeah. This is a very interesting thesis. Here it goes. I'm going to post it here. Y'all can read it. Yeah, I'm on Rumble too. You can read it. Now I'm going to show you this real quick, and then we're going to be done. Because you know what? These guys, man, they're getting away with a lot of stupid talk. And
they don't teach investing in school. And I think that's one of the...
Watch this real quick. A couple of videos we're going to talk right now. All right, let's go.
People who really...
That's 2 commercials, man. Damn it. You see what I mean, fam? You see what I'm saying? I'm not lying. Oh, yeah, we are the most attacked in this country. For sure. For sure. Listen to this, okay? A couple of idiots. But then I'm going to prove a point. Because, Vic, I haven't forgotten about you, Salami. I haven't forgotten about you, Salami. Okay? So let's listen in.
Video shows train filled with migrants heading toward U.S. southern border from Mexico.
It's not people. It's single men. Let's be clear. It's single, military-age males. People need to wake up, dude. We are under attack. We are being invaded. Most America.
Invasion, quote-unquote invasion, that's this thesis that I was talking about from 1930, 1940, 1950. It's still going on, right? Okay. But then now listen to what he says. All right? This says us Mexicans or Hispanics. But you don't understand Mexican. Y'all know what I mean. If you're Venezolano, whatever, Nicaragüense, Hondureño, you come, hey, brother, I'm talking to you too. But you know, they call us Mexicans, bro. So it is what it is. All right, let's go.
Americans are not equipped to deal with what's happening here.
No.
Like, you're not going to be able to walk down the street with your wife. You're not going to be able to take your kids to places because these motherfuckers are going to do what they've been doing over in Europe, which is attacking people, taking their shit, living in their homes. This is a joy.
You hear this? So now we're going to come up with... Oh, this is funny. Hold on. Let's continue.
George Soros funded invasion to destroy Western culture. That is not a conspiracy theory, and something needs to be done or we are going to lose our country forever.
Oh, whoa. There's so much power behind the base, man. Shut your face, fool. Let me show you something real quick. I mean, they say that you guys don't believe in, that's not conspiracy theory. Okay. I'm almost done. Let's go.
Administrative state is anti-constitutional. It's the rule of the few for their own sakes. A distinct and insular class of people, rather than a trained elite, corrupt and distant from the people whom they rule. The administrative state is openly hostile to the Constitution. It allows for myriad methods of policymaking. In reality, at the end of the day, it represents a return to pre-constitutional government. The administrative state today is, rather than the aristocracy that the progressives hoped it would be, simply an oligarchy. It's the rule of the few for their own sakes, a distinct and insular class of people, rather than a trained elite, corrupt and distant from the people whom they rule. They're supported by a coterie of clientele groups who depend upon the modern administrative state for privileges and benefits. The average person in this system is systematically and fundamentally disenfranchised. Policy is not made for his benefit, and he is largely unable to control the machinery of the state. In sum, the administrative state is the antithesis of constitutional government and cannot even live up to the expectations of its progressive founders. The administrative state intrudes upon even the minutest aspects of people's lives. The federal government dictates the amount of water that you can have in your washing machine and in your dishwasher. The federal government dictates the content of the light bulbs that light up your house in the evening. They dictate the composition of the spouts on the gas can that you use to fill your lawnmower. They've determined that the ordinary gas can spout allows for too many fumes to escape. And so instead they created a system which is all but impossible for the ordinary person to use and probably causes more spills anyway. The federal government...
That's my brother, man. I love that. Gotcha, bitch. That's why I still, hey, you know what, man? That's when I was saying that I was waking up, sleeping 2 hours, going to sleep, sleeping 2 hours. It's because of this class. Like it was like I know what I believe in, man. The Most High, our Father, he was like trying to wake me up. Do the class. I was like, man, I really had a lot of work this week, fam. Thank God. Hey, Solomé, I really appreciate that consejo you gave me, bro. You're always working, man. I never forgot that advice, man. That's awesome, man. I appreciate that. Let me read this. Their time is coming to the end, so they want to focus on their only card to play. The imperialist war of old conquer doctrine, but even then they are pooped in options. Yep. Well, yeah, they're actually still going by the whole Monroe doctrine. They're just not saying it. And let's finish this up. This is funny to me. Like these guys, the imperialist, the Constitution was written because I'm going to show you who wrote the Constitution, dummy. And then you guys keep talking about, don't talk about the past, forget about 1492, but the Constitution now, man, that's history. So when you reflect on the Constitution, shouldn't I reflect on people that were around that time that were my gente? What were we doing? Sure as hell wasn't beneficial to us. Let's go.
Dictates to the manufacturers of step ladders the angle at which the ladder must be placed when they test it for the sake of determining its weight rating. Meanwhile, we might note, the administrative state seems to be sincerely uninterested in performing the tasks that our founding fathers expected legitimate government to perform.
Remember, our founding fathers Oh, they wanted this. Okay. Let me speed it up because this guy talks too slow for me. You talk too slow, bro. Speed it up, bro. Yeah, just getting slaughtered, man. Like this.
Bruh.
Oh, no, not that one. Hold on a second. Yeah, and when the Most High allows it and the Messiah returns, he's gonna say this to them for using his word and all that.
Keep my name out your mouth.
That's for trying to tell people that you the people of the book. All these guys, right? These are their founding fathers. Okay, check it out.
Major cities have chronic amounts of unsolved murders, which they never seem to bother to get to in many cases. The city of Detroit discovered several years ago a backlog of thousands of unprocessed rape kits that took more than a decade to finish. The mayor of Portland, Oregon seems perfectly content to allow Antifa to take over the streets of the city and to enforce the laws themselves. And Portland is one of a number of examples of progressive cities on the West Coast which also seem perfectly content to allow their cities to become mountains of drugs and human excrement. At the national level, our government, or at least much of our government, seems to be deeply unconcerned for maintaining our territorial integrity in the face of thousands, if not millions, of illegal immigrants coming into the country, and thus
See what I mean? So now before I go, I'm gonna show you this real quick. Let me show you something now. All right. Remember, they're so-called. They're very proud of their. They're very proud. They're very proud of. Oh yeah. Our founding fathers. Our founding fathers. Okay, Mr. Conspiracy Theorist. This goes to you Republicans. And you funny Democrats, you guys are funny too. Both of you guys are funny. I mean, a Republican, listen, I would even ask to debate you. I would debate a Republican. But see, you got to be ready though, because I'm going to bring some scriptures to this whole thing. So if you want to debate me, you better know what you're talking about on a political level and on the actual scriptural level. I'm down. But you guys won't. So anyways, so you guys, conspiracy theory, like the kids are being stolen and all. Now you don't care about our kids, okay? Stop saying, because these kids getting kidnapped. You don't care. You don't care about our kids. At all. Don't be a hypocrite. You sound even more stupid. But anyways, these are your founding fathers. This is the doctrine you believe in. See, it was written from the get-go. You see, what you guys are doing, Republicans, all of you guys, right? Your founding fathers were nothing more and nothing less but these people. Let's go.
Legend of the Craft, Legend of the Temple.
My name on the Masonic and the Order of the Eastern Star, the Baphomet there.
Photo of George Washington's sash worn in the Revolutionary War at the time he resigned his commission in 1783. Oh boy. The building of Solomon's Temple. Oh look, this is George Washington's Masonic apron. Oh, look at that, George Washington. Okay. Oop, Thomas Jefferson. James Madison, check it out. James Monroe. Andrew Jackson.
Here you have Masonic presidents of our country. Masonic presidents. I'll zoom in here so you can read a little bit better. George Washington, Mason. Thomas Jefferson, James Madison, James Monroe, Andrew Jackson, James Knox Polk, James Buchanan, Andrew Johnson, James Garfield, William McKinley, Theodore Roosevelt, William Howard Taft, Warren Gamaliel Harding, Franklin Delano Roosevelt, Harry S. Truman, Gerald Ford, the fatherhood of God, the brotherhood of man. There you have George Washington with a nice all-seeing eye radiating down over the White House. Nice imagery there. The white apron there is made of lamb's wool, and it symbolizes the veil that veils the Holy of Holies from the God of Masonry, which is right directly behind the veil. Excuse me there, I have to point there. That's the God of Masonry. You see the square, you see the compass, this thing here, right there, the G in the middle, does not stand for God. It does not stand for geometry. It stands for generativity. It is a sex symbol. Okay?
Damn! Whoa, man, oh man. Yeah. But, you know, they're going to say, that's not true. That's not true. They wrote the Constitution. Your Constitution. The same law when you had the 13 colonies, which Florida wasn't part of, in case you guys forgot. You forget about all that history. When you were in the 13 colonies, you guys forget about all that history from that point, from that land to the east, to the west. You guys don't study that at all. I'm not sure why. Now, let me finish this with this doofus here, okay? You know, he's talking about Mexicans, right? Watch what he called us too. He called us dogs. Let me see. Cheatham foresaw their future of civil war too in America. All the real Americans they victimize will demand receipts. They have to pay their granddaddy crimes go against our tribal nations. That's right. Gotcha, bitch. So now let's listen into this guy. Look what he calls us. He calls us dogs. Basically, he compared us to a dog. That's what he did.
Further than Trump did on those measures, Larry. I think we have a legitimate, legal, ethically, and morally justifiable use case for the U.S. military to seal that southern border. Because right now, those cartels have financed tunnels underneath that wall. So the wall was a good start, but it's not enough. And I think that that's perfectly appropriate to use our own military to secure our own border against an invasion of both drugs and illegal armed gunmen at our own southern border. And that's how I'll lead as Commander-in-Chief.
It's an interesting point that you make here, and an important point. Some people, Vivek, have said, okay, let's use the U.S. military to go after the cartels, the Mexican drug cartels that many people believe are actually running the border. Okay, it sounds like you would like to go further than that. Could you just widen that? Tell us more about the use of the U.S. military down on the border.
Over the past 6 months.
And by the way, this guy here, he's Russian or he's something Ukrainian. You can tell by his accent he's not from here, but they work real hard to hide that accent. I pay attention, believe me. This guy too. Sure, I'm telling you, man. You can hear his hey, how about you, my friend? How was your political debate today? He grew up hearing that. So he works real hard to hide that. Anyways, that's not the point. Let's go.
So the first step how I'm going to deal with this is place the military to seal the holes on the southern border, especially those areas that are not covered by the wall already. And then I'm going to pick up the phone and I'm going to have a phone call with Claudia Sheinbaum or whoever it is that wins the next Mexican presidential election. I'm grateful that AMLO is going to be out. Mexico has an election in 2024. Whether it's Sheinbaum or somebody else who wins that election, I'm going to reset the relationship and say, listen up. For a tiny fraction, and it will be a tiny fraction, of what we have already spent in Ukraine, we can help you, Mexico, regain your sovereignty from the Mexican drug cartels who are spilling over into our own homeland here. But if you don't do it, then we will come in and get the job done ourselves. Because the fact of the matter is, it's like if you have a neighbor who has a dog that comes over to your yard and keeps biting your family members repeatedly. If they keep repeatedly doing that, at some point you can take a shotgun and shoot that dog. That's legitimate, legal, morally, ethically justified. And I think the same thing applies to a country to our south that has legitimate, legal cartels who are spilling over.
Let's pay close attention to this. He just compared us to a dog. And I don't live around neighbors with the dog that is constantly biting my family. The first time it would be taken care of. I don't know why it would happen all over again. But remember, it's dog whistle. They're talking dogs. What do dogs have? They're animals. They have fleas. They got disease. You know what I mean? They're not human. They're subhuman. Pay attention. Pay attention.
Into our own homeland here. But if you don't do it, then
our own get your ass back to India, man. Shut up.
Then we will come in and get the job done ourselves. Because the fact of the matter is, it's like if you have a neighbor who has a dog that comes over to your yard and keeps biting your family members repeatedly. If they keep repeatedly doing that, at some point you can take a shotgun and shoot that dog. That's legitimate, legal, morally.
All right, so I'm almost done. So, so you know they're like saying these Mexicans, huh? These Mexicans. Well, howdy doody. Well, howdy doody right here, huh? I thought it was just Mexicans. No, it's not. It's people that are just like you. Your people. Your people are crossing the border. Your people are crossing the border. You people from India are crossing the border, and you got a Vivek Salami. The nerve of him. The nerve of him. The nerve of him. Look, let's listen in. All right, let's go.
Punjabi. Where?
Punjabi only.
Where are you going?
New York, California. Where are you going?
California.
California? Where are you from?
California.
Where are you from?
Indian.
You're India?
India.
And you?
India.
Where are you going?
India.
California.
California? You?
California.
Where are you from?
India.
You? Where are you from?
India.
Where are you going?
California.
You?
India. Going to New York.
Where are you going? Where are you from? India?
New York.
You?
India, New York.
You?
India, New York.
You?
India, California.
You?
California.
Where? You?
India, California.
You?
Senegal.
Where are you going?
India.
Where?
Punjabi.
Where?
Punjabi only.
Where are you going? New York, California. Where are you going?
California.
California? Where are you from?
California.
Where are you from?
Indian.
You're India? And you?
India. India.
Where are you going?
California.
California? You?
California.
Where are you from?
India.
You? Where are you from?
India.
Where are you going?
California.
You?
India. Going to New York.
Where are you going? Where are you from? India?
New York.
You?
India, New York.
You?
India, New York.
You?
India, California.
You?
California.
Where? You?
India, California.
You?
Oh, my dear Jesus. Who are you people, man? Like, here goes another one. Here goes another one.
Where are you going?
New York.
You?
Bangladesh.
Look, there's more.
Jersey?
Hey, wait a minute. I thought it was just Mexicans, bro. Look at this. There's more of these guys.
You?
Bangladesh.
Where are you going?
New York.
You?
Bangladesh.
Where are you going?
Georgia.
You?
Bangladesh.
Where are you going?
Georgia.
You?
New York.
New York? Where are you from? Where are you from? Where are you from? Africa,
Like,
Haiti? Where are you
he's
from?
like, I'm not answering you, fool. Shut up. Hell no. At least these guys have a little bit more sense. Those guys from India, like, I'm from India and I'm going to New York. It's because Vivek said I could come over. Oh, wow. Come on, man. You can't play games with me, bro. Y'all are stupid. What do you think I am? Stupid? Here, I'm going to show you something real quick. Let's have a little bit of fun. Because I'm done. Mas puto.
And we will immediately.
Watch what this guy does, right? Check this out. So look what he says. Look what he says. Hey, African illegal immigrants. Check this out. What's going to happen to you now?
And we will immediately stop all of the pillaging and theft. Very simply, if you rob a store, you can fully expect to be shot as you are leaving that store. Shot. Shot. If you rob a store, you can
I got to record this, man. It's got to be one of my recordings.
fully expect to be shot as you are leaving that store. To be shot as you are leaving that store. Expect to be shot as you are leaving that store. Shot. That store. Shot.
That's the one right there. Man, that's funny. But now, so let's remind you guys how they handle things, right? If you don't listen, let me just remind you how they handle it here. Gringolandia, man, they just, you know what I mean? They just love it. Hey, you don't, if you don't abide by the law, remember he said, law-abiding citizens, if you're U.S. citizens and you obey by the law, then I guess you still are, right? Check it out. Man, that's fun. Hey, that's a good movie. Good morning, Vietnam. Wow, that was funny. That was funny. So now let's remind you guys, hey, remember they're talking about, oh, yeah, you know what I mean? The conspiracy theories and our forefathers wrote the Constitution. No, they wrote it for the whole purpose of supremacy. You guys are already in the so-called one world order, dummies. You just never knew that you were in the Matrix. Look, even your own brother says it.
For the international order that we have worked for generations to build. Ordinary men and women are too small-minded to govern their own affairs. The order and affairs. Ordinary men and women are too small-minded to govern their own affairs. To build. Ordinary men and women are too small-minded. Ordinary men and women are too small-minded. Ordinary men and women are too small-minded to govern their own affairs. that order and progress can only come when individuals surrender their rights to an all-powerful sovereign.
Oh, you scared now? Oh, you scared now? Think you should be. If you're not, should be. I know that this may be of a confusing part here, but check this out. U.S. Military Empire Visual Database. This is where you guys have military bases. Yes. America, these are your military bases. Look, you see all the people that are coming from Salvador, Guatemala, Honduras, Nicaragua, not Costa Rica, Panama maybe, but these three right here. Nicaragua, not Honduras as much. Nicaragua, Guatemala, and Salvador. Well, I find it interesting that this is where you have the majority of these big companies, like big actual companies. Remember the coup d'etat? The coup d'etat? The coup d'etat? The coup d'etat. Not what a tie. No, that's not what I mean. Not what a tie. The coup d'etat. Now look, and this is why Russia is not liking it, because they're like, yo, listen, if you invite Ukraine into the UN, because all these countries are part of the United Nations. So these United Nations is like a door for them to come in and say, we're going to build a military there. So that's why Russia's like, yeah, you get close to us, it's a threat. See, Russia and China, they don't have anybody around. So what? I mean, think about it. Look at America, man. Look at y'all, bro. And you guys say that, oh, we're trying to avoid the one world government. You are that already. Let me see what I got here real quick. I got two scary videos.
Back in the White House.
This is what he means. This is the Eisenhower deportation, Operation Wetback. Pay attention.
I will terminate every open borders policy of the Biden administration and begin the largest deportation operation in American history.
Funny, when some of you Cubans vote for this guy, you're gonna be caught up with him too. Oh, that's so funny. Anyways, listen. I'm gonna scare you guys with something real quick, okay? Because I've been looking for this video for some time, and it's gonna scare the living crap out of you. So all of you that just love to well, you guys seen this video. Okay, let me play this first. Because this is you guys. You know who I'm talking about. It's time. Your time is done. You've had your reign. You've spoiled. The egg is rotten. You're rotten from the root. You European and African settlers. You're done. And there's absolutely nothing you can do about it. Let's go. Yeah. Oh yeah. All right, this is 10:27. I got a couple videos to show you real quick before we finish it. I want to talk some shit real quick about some stupid people. I don't like stupid people, fam. But I mean, it's like, that's one thing, like, you just don't know. And it's another thing, like, you're not that smart. I get it. You know what I'm saying? I understand that. Like, some shit just doesn't kind of like click in real quick. Okay, we've seen a whole plethora of hate towards our people. Constant reminder of how you're a fucking illegal. You're a wetback. You're a spick. You went from gloriousness to fucking jailhood. You went from being a baby, beautiful baby, loving maybe, to a fucking conniving crossover border crosser slithering snake. This is what these people have taught us. Now, it's funny to me because these are the same people that always want to say to respect their constitution, but they're the same white motherfucking crackety barrels that diss their own constitution. So who the fuck are we supposed to believe? So you know what I do? I don't believe you fucking white folks. I don't believe you Negroes either. I don't believe none of you motherfuckers at all. I think both of you guys are fucking liars, to be honest with you, bro. Y'all work in the same game, same plan, and I get it. You outsmarted us. I get it. And you know what? It's all good. Because my job is to teach my brothers and sisters how fucking stupid we were just for a moment. Because I think that's like graduation. You know what I'm saying? You got to get slapped in the face a little bit and shit to admit. I almost sounded like fucking Russian. To admit to admit the fact that you were lied to. You've been lied to. I was lied to. We all been lied to. Every single one of us has been fucking lied to, bro. So you know what I say? Fuck these people. Step the hell up. Learn who you are. And look, listen. And I'm gonna call out these motherfuckers right now. Matter of fact, what is his name? Indigenous Revolution, bro. Let's get this debate going on, man. Because I know you throw jazz on my channel and shit, and you never call my ass out. I posted on your channel several times, and you'll never answer me. You answer everybody else. So if you think we came out of Siberia, fuckface, you better step the fucking game up now. Because that's what Negroes want you to believe. That's what Negroes want you to say. So what are you fucking saying? Are you submitting yourself to the Negro nutsack? Is that what you're fucking saying? Are we going back to BHI shit? Like, what's going on, Indigenous Revolution? You want to be a Siberian, but you can't accept the fact that we have more history further than there? Bro, y'all are weak, man. And this is why I'm showing this video. Because you want to know something? I don't know who the fuck this fucking paisa is. And I'm going to call you as that right there. And this is how stupid you are. You have enough time to put tattoos on your fucking head. I mean, on your body. You have enough time to shave your head and trim your beard. But you got no time to read fucking history. You stupid, pinche pendejo Mexican, bro. You're the type of people, maybe you're not even raza, homie. Maybe that's what it is. We got to start really thinking about that shit, fam. There's a lot of people that claim to be raza, and they're not. I mean, American Cholo is one example. He was raza, and then they found out he was Honduran and shit. I'm not saying that ain't raza, but it's just like, if he lied about it, bro, how many of these motherfuckers are lying about something else too? See, in my channel, we don't fuck around and we don't lie, bro. You want to know something? You want to know why? Because I can stretch my knowledge in 5 different fucking ways: Bible, history, language, diet, and what else? Oh my God, I forgot about that. That's right, the Bible. Ain't no other Ratchet channel that can do that shit like I can do it. So fuck all you bastards, bro. Y'all love to hate this shit. You always want to put like my little thumbs down on my videos. I see them. But you know, and I know who you guys are. And it's mostly raza. Black folks do that shit too. I don't give a fuck about them. But I hate it when raza does that shit because I can see it. I can see your thumbs down, you fuck faces. You know, that's how stupid it is. But let's listen to this stupidity right here. He don't know nothing. He goes, hey, well, listen, why are you trying to get some, equal rights and you're trying to show the Mexican flag? Excuse me. You never got equal rights, fuckface. And that's what they're saying. We never had equal rights.
It's phenomenal. What's amazing about this clip when you post it, there's a sound that happens the first 3 seconds that I'm wondering what he was doing before he played this clip. Go ahead and play this clip, Rob. I don't know if you guys caught the sound. Go ahead.
Get this straight.
What was that doing? One more time here. I'm wondering what he was doing before he played this clip. Go ahead and play this clip, Rob. I don't know if you guys caught the sound. Go ahead.
Get this straight.
Saying he probably sniffed some coke. See, they're laughing at you as you're laughing at you as you're dissing your own fucking gente. You stupid fuck. You have enough time to put tattoos on your shit and shave your head, but you can't read a fucking book. Do you understand why people threw the fucking flag out there? Pinche pendejo. Bro, listen, do me a favor. Whoever the fuck this guy is, remind him. He ain't raza, homie. He is a white boy with a tan. Because if you're talking like this, you must be on that white fucking crackety barrel side and shit. Or maybe your woman is a white woman and shit, and that's why you talk that way.
What was that? Do it one more time here. Do it one more time here. Go for it, Rob.
Get this straight. Just
you see that, fam? Even in the compliment that they were embracing from him based on what they fucking believe in, because they're right-wing piece of shit bastards, right? They're like, look what this guy says, that you shouldn't be protesting, you shouldn't be putting Mexican flags up, talking shit. And he's like, hey, look, as he's supporting us, he's over there sniffing coke like a typical fucking Mexican.
It's phenomenal. What's amazing about this clip when you post it, there's a sound that happens the first 3 seconds that I'm wondering what he was doing before he played this clip. Go ahead and
he was doing? What if the person next to him just happened to fucking just like that? Because maybe, he had I don't know, bro. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes there's mocos in your fucking nose, you stupid ass goddamn Arab. Man, you know what? It's time that we start looking at these Arab motherfuckers, dog, in a different manner. A lot of you guys be like, oh, they're my friends. They sell me beer and shit. Do you really think they'd really want to do that? This fucking piece of shit bastard sold so many life insurance policies to so many of our raza, bro. And all of a sudden now he wants them to get deported. How fucking ironic is that shit? He made money off of our people and now he wants them deported. So guess what? Are they going to get benefits from that fucking life insurance policy that was sold to them with no social security? You see, and that's the thing you motherfuckers don't even know about this shit, because you're so stuck on, I want to hear some cholo shit. What's the cheese, man? What's going on? Hey, man, what am I jumping into, man? What's the topic? Bro, don't do that shit again here in this channel, bro. You know who I'm talking about. It's like, I don't like people like that shit, because this is serious fucking talk. My channel is serious fucking talk. We are sick and tired of our people getting done with, treated like shit, and you guys just laugh at it. Hey, Marvelous, bro, where the fuck are you, man? How come you ain't talking about this shit, bro? I've been waiting for you to say some shit about a raza going through some shit. Nah, dog. You staying very quiet. All you wanna-be cholos are staying very motherfucking quiet, bro.
play this clip, Rob. I don't know if you guys caught the sound. Go ahead.
Get this straight.
What was that? Do it one more time here. Do it one more time here. Go for it, Rob.
Say this, pinche pendejo, güey. And whoever knows this guy, do me a favor. Do him a favor. Because after you hear this shit, you're going to want to fucking hurt him.
It's straight. Just so I could clarify.
Let me just, okay.
You don't want to go back to Mexico. You're protesting to stay away from Mexico. But you're waving the Mexican flag and you're waving it with pride. You're waving it in the United States. The country you're trying to stay in. The country you don't want to leave.
You just see a whole fucking plethora of videos that deported American citizens, even if that look just like you stupid pinche pendejo. And right now, I'm going to call you. As a matter of fact, no, I'm not going to call you that, because I know that we use paisa as a derogatory term to diss our people from like pueblos and shit. I'm not gonna say it like I'm not gonna do that. You know what I'm gonna call you? You're a fucking white boy with a fucking tan and some bigotes, homie. You are Cortez, puto. People like you, you're not even raza, homie. Your dad is probably a white boy, and that's why you talk like this. How the fuck can you not know? Like, you look, quote unquote, at least our assumption of cholos and shit. You look like somebody that gangbang. I would assume you know your fucking history where like, Pachuco shit came from. You know what I'm saying? Like, why did it start? Oh, that's right. So let me say this. Let me get this straight. So you think that it would have made it better for Mexicans to carry a fucking quote unquote white American flag? Would they have not gotten deported? You fuckface. Well, guess what? U.S. citizens that probably appreciate that flag are getting deported. But you know what? American cholos, I don't care. You dumbass Honduran, you want to be Mexican. Bro, hey, listen, bro. Bring me to your platform. I'll debate your fucking ass on religion, politics, history. I mean, shit, man. I will embarrass your fucking short ass. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, dude, now at this point, listen, cholos, Marvelous, and all you fuckers. Don't get involved in this shit, bro. Y'all don't know this fucking platform. You don't know this game. Matter of fact, Marvelous, weren't you the one that told us that Sakari was our brethren? And then we found out that they were getting butt plugged? Nobody should come over here to my fucking channel and tell me that I'm wrong when I've called you motherfuckers out and you cannot debunk my shit.
But yet you're waving the Mexican flag with pride. Okay. That seems normal to you? That seems logical? That's not stupid at all?
Why that was happening? Because even if we would have waved your preferred flag, we still would get deported. Because guess what, bro? Maybe you're not accessible to the streets, but when these motherfuckers see your ass, they will deport you.
None of that's stupid. All right. You guys are an embarrassment to the Mexican culture and to the United States culture. You guys are an embarrassment to everybody around you, and you should be ashamed of yourself. Do better.
It's phenomenal.
You should be ashamed of yourself. Do better. Man, shut up. Listen, this woman, I don't agree with her lifestyle, but she got more balls than your fucking gangster ass. Matter of fact, she got more balls than a lot of you guys. Because you know what, bro? Listen, what is it? Marvelous mom is white. He said it. Well, I mean, if she is, and as long as his father is of the seed, that's fine. I don't give a shit. But like, don't go around, acting like as if you fucking care about a gente and shit, and you fucking don't, bro. I don't see none of these platforms ever talking about this situation. From like, how like, okay, let me say this. American Cholo established himself as a right winger, like, Republican, right? Marvelous, he didn't establish himself to the opposite. He ain't talking about none of this shit. So I don't know what he stands in. I'm not saying he's supposed to choose politics, but I think at least some essence of you should be like, nah, I ain't riding with those motherfuckers. I'm not agreeing with these bastards over here, but I ain't going that far. Guess who's bringing up pedophilia? It ain't the Democrats. It's the Republicans. Rewind it real quick. I didn't click the button. Let's go. And by the way, I'm going to let it play twice because I'm going to use the bathroom.
Si ellos están aterrorizando a nuestras comunidades, los vamos a volver famosos. ¿Sabes quién es este güey? Este güey es el CEO de Core Civic. ¿Sabías tú que ellos tienen una deuda de $1.7 billones y que él dijo que tener inversiones en estos centros de detención les iba a dar una ganancia de $1 billón. Este güey que tú ves aquí es otro CEO de Geo y ellos invirtieron $70 billones. No puedo encontrar muy bien cuál es su deuda de Geo, pero les puedo asegurar que si lo buscamos lo vamos a encontrar. Así como ellos no se la piensan para aterrorizar a nuestras comunidades, pues nosotros tampoco deberíamos de tener tanta compasión por ellos, que viven escondidos del odio que ellos están plantando. Aquí lo tienen. Aquí está su foto, su nombre. Y él dice que está aquí para proteger a América, ganando dinero y sacando a su compañía de una deuda de $1.7 billones, cazando a inmigrantes y poniéndolos en centros de detención por lucro. Ellos dijeron que las deportaciones masivas era una oportunidad sin precedentes, como que el dolor humano es algo para profit ways, como que si la nueva ética es tener ganancias del dolor humano. Bueno, que tengan buen día. Si ellos están aterrorizando a nuestra...
See what I'm saying? She has more decency, bro. At least she takes the fucking time to express exactly what's going on. Do you want to know why I'm showing this shit? Because look, even after you motherfuckers getting deported, even after you Mexican raza, paisa, whatever you call yourselves, or Mexicanos or Michoacanos, or, you know, Guadalajarenses, or fucking Chicanos from California or Texas, whatever. Guess what? No matter where you're born, if you're in the region of these Anglos, bro, they're gonna deport your ass. And yeah, you're right. You can take it to court, whatever, but you're still gonna have to experience that shit. And you know what's even worse? You wanna know what's even fucking worse? That you have these African motherfuckers, bro, saying this stupid shit. And I'm gonna listen. I'm gonna finish it with this video because I'm trying to put this espina right in your fucking heart. I want to make sure that it burns you. Because you have no idea how you're getting attacked. Like, you're too worried about working, making money. I get it, bro. I get it. We're like that. We like to work. We like to work, take care of family, whatever. Right? But no sabes, güey. They're attacking you motherfuckers from the left, the right, from the north, and the south. Wake the fuck up.
Mexican people always.
They're trying to steal your history. They're trying to steal your struggle. They're trying to make it seem like your deportation or all that severity or the fumigations in 1917 or 1492 or the 15, 16, 1700s or the fact that they brought smallpox to America or the fact that they helped the white man conquer these lands. They're trying to run away from that shit. And at the same time, they're trying to shit on your fucking history, saying you ain't from here. You didn't suffer those things. You ain't. But yet at the same time, guess what? They don't know their diet, folklore, like what is it? Christian Compendium experience. Dude, I can go on and on in my channel, bro. I always debunk these bastards. But I'm trying to tell you, Raza, I'm telling you right now. You're getting attacked in 100 ways, bro. And you don't even fucking know it. And they're bigots as fuck, bro. They're racist like the white man. The white man is trying to demolish you. And they're trying to demolish you as well. The white man is trying to say, fuck you. You're a savage. You're an illegal immigrant. You're an illegal alien. And the negro, the wabos are saying, you ain't even from here. So that means you're what? A dog. Like Trump said. Wake the fuck up. This ain't hate, man. This is knowledge. This ain't hate, fam. This is love. This ain't hate, man. This is fucking desperation to let y'all know that it's not getting out of hand, but it's getting annoying. And you know what? In my channel, I don't get affected by this because nobody attacks my channel. These bitches are scared. Listen, Wabos, BHI, Christmas Christians, Republicans. Look, they're all fucking scared of my channel. Nobody debates me because they know they can't fuck with me. But you want to know something? They'll keep talking shit and they'll demoralize your spirit. And maybe not your spirit, sister. Maybe not your spirit, Yasharala. You know what I'm saying? Maybe not your spirit, Kang. but they will fucking diminish someone else's spirit that is trying to learn who they are. And we can't let that shit happen, bro. Us strong motherfuckers, men and women, feed that strength to the rest of them. And fuck these motherfuckers, bro. They want war, let's get it.
Believe that the origin of the people in this country, it is Asia, right? We say the last ice age.
Aliens depicted themselves, and it does not resemble today's Hispanic population or Mexican population, but Nampac murals. You see these people with locks, head wraps.
So I say to these Negroes, bro, and listen right now, especially because I'm kind of in the fiery moment right now. I'll say to you right now, hit the fucking link and explain to me how the fuck are you Negroes, these people, if you always criticize us Hispanics of having no necks and flat heads. You always say that. You say we have no necks, flat heads, we're deformed, but all of a sudden, do you guys want to be these deformed people with thin lips, crooked noses, flat heads, and no woolly hair? Fuck you.
Negroid feature. These people don't look Asian to me. They don't look Mongoloid in phenotype. Now you will see a lot of Mayan replicas. These were not painted by Mayans. These are
once again, you see these people, thin lips, crooked noses, flat heads, no neck, no muscles. Isn't this what you Negroes always fucking say? That's your privilege? You say that you are the strongest, fastest, most physical, most nappy, most big lip, most big nose. You say all of those things. And in this picture right here, all of a sudden, none of that shit, you like totally forget that you have a fucking cone head shape and thick lips and long neck. All of a sudden, that shit don't matter now. No, because they look brown and because we have a horrible history. We want to be those people. Fuck you, Negro.
Are not authentic Mayan murals. They'll make these replicas to fit the Hispanic population. But when we look at the murals, they look completely opposite. Now look at this mural and look at this replica. And I ask you, what's real? Because I need y'all to think, and I really need y'all to use y'all brains right now. Because we finna use common sense. Because you can use common sense. They'll show you these replicas and say, oh, this is Aztec and Mayan culture. But the Mayans themselves depicted themselves as being a Negroid phenotype.
Have they said that? When the fuck have Maya said that they were depicted like you nasty, dirty motherfucking Africans, bro? When the fuck did Mayas ever say that? I want to know this, man. Because, I mean, shit, man. You calling us Neanderthals, well, shit. I'm going to call you dirty, ugly, nasty, motherfucking thieves. The people that brought smallpox to America. Y'all Negroes brought smallpox to America. That's not a lie. That's a fact, and I can show you. Hey, and by the way, anybody feel froggy? Go ahead and hit the link. We could talk about it.
Now I need y'all to think. When we look in America, all over America, in every city, you see everywhere in America, every city, you see brothers with dreads, locks. Where else in the world is they wearing locks at? Before I speak on this image, I want to thank Dr. Ali Muhammad, because without him, I wouldn't even known about this. Dr. Ali Muhammad said he got this out the Smithsonian. He paid about $700 for this book. But let's get to it. Let's get to work. Let's talk about it now. Sacrifice of light-skinned, light-haired seafarers. The artists or priests who decorated this important Mayan temple long before the arrival of Christopher Columbus were all well acquainted with the fact that they're excited with individuals or a people with race traits different from their own. The problem is...
Here's the problem, Negro. Do you know what tejuino means? Do you know what tamarindo means? Do you know what pulque means? Hold on, let me say it again. Do you know what tejuino means? Do you know what tamarindo means? Do you know what pulque means? Matter of fact, do you know what tamales mean, way? Do you know how to cook them? Negro. Negro, do you know how to cook them? Do you know what the tortillas are? Matter of fact, do you know that coriander? Or do you know that what plant coriander grows? Because if you are those people, you should know what coriander grows. But you see, Negro, you don't know what coriander grows because you're from West Africa. So I don't got no problem with my Ethiopian brothers and sisters from East Africa because they've shared some experiences with us. But you motherfuckers, y'all never been around that shit. And if you were just slaves. And you little pictures right here about us trying to be white people, bro. Dude, listen, I'm laughing at y'all because guess what, bro? I am the only channel that you motherfucking Wabos, BHI, Christmas Christians, you run from my channel. You don't want this fire. I can freely talk shit. Fopi, listen, hey, Kwana, bro, what's up, man? This is your time. Bring that fat bitch that you always want. You want me to debate. Bro, listen, don't bring that little girl, bro. I will destroy her and shit. And that's the thing about don't ever debate. Women should never debate men because us men, we talk different. Never debate women and men because we just talk different. So here's a channel, the only one that doesn't get attacked. You want to know why, fam? Because I'm the one that speaks truth. Tell Fopi to come over here and talk shit. Tell IUIC to come over here and talk shit. Tell ISUPK to come over here and talk shit. GMS. Sakari, man, get out of here, man. I don't fuck around with gay faggots. You know what I mean? It's like, y'all live your life, whatever, butt pluggers. That's it. You're done. Tell some of these bastards to come over here and debunk me. You can't. They won't. Do you want to know why? Y'all know this. Too much facts in English and in Spanish. And we don't even need to go to Deuteronomy 28 like every fucking Negro that claims to be a Hebrew. Y'all always go here. And you stay here, and then when we want to stay here, you don't want to stay here. You see, with me, we don't even have to come here. That's like the icing on the cake. Y'all don't want none. Hey, by the way, well, hold on a second. If you feel froggy, Fopi, Kwana, hit it.
Were they clearly saying that these people were well aware of different race traits? So you got these people from wherever they came from. These people that they are taking captive represent the present day population or the people you call Mexican, Hispanic. These people are your Afro-Mexicans or your quote-unquote African-Americans, your indigenous people of America. Now, when I first seen this mural right here,
I want you to pay attention to this, family, because this is exactly what they're saying. That you are these people right here. This is what this Negro specifically is saying about you. And I am going to assume that every other fucking Yanta thinks like that too. You calling me an animal? I'm going to call you a fucking Yanta.
now this is the Mayans that tied up these pale-skinned invaders. And when I thought of this, okay, this got to be the Neanderthals.
Pale-skinned invaders. You need to listen to this shit, dude. These Negroes are more racist than fucking white people, bro. I think you need to understand that shit. Pinches negros son más racistas que los gringos unas veces, güey. It's what it is, fam. Matter of fact, I have a book that literally says that they talk to them like that at that time. So do not, please, just stop. Stop this empathy. These fuckers were never in ships. They were never thrown overboard. They were enslaving your asses. And they were throwing you overboard. The people that were thrown overboard on ships was not Negroes. They were natives. People that look just like you. Not like these fuck faces. People that look just like you, fam. Just like you and I. Not them. Not no Negroes. You were the ones being thrown overboard. You were the partes sequitur ventrum. You were the fucking slaves. You were the people that they took land from. And now they want to continue to say that. Hold on. Let me rephrase that. Now they want to say that you weren't even here in the first place.
It's all right here. Because these people have blonde hair and a reddish skin. So I have actually even seen Mexicans with the same features as the people that's being tied up and getting ready to get sacrificed. In this mirror, I've seen Mexicans that look like these people. So this is the Neanderthal and this is the Disanova. And you can pretty much get an idea who the people were. Now you see your Aztec. Now this is an Aztec temple. Now you see the brothers with the feathers. You even see some of the brothers in a Muslim-ish garb. This is an ancient Mexico. This is what they are hiding. This is Mexico before the conquistadors colonized it. Now you got to understand you had enemies of the Aztec, which were pre-Columbian invaders, or what you'll call present-day population. However, they sided with the Spanish against the Black Aztec to help overthrow their rulership elite. And the slave or the prisoner they got captive, and what you see is the Black Aztec right here. This is what you call present-day Negro, Black African American.
Hey, Negroes, how come you guys can't eat our food? What you're using is you're using a long, nappy-headed dude with a tan, with big lips, you know what I'm saying, that wants to dress up like a fucking native and shit, and all of a sudden now you want to claim them to be our people. Listen, the only reason why you guys have long hair like that is because you mix with the white boys. They fucking raped y'all. Or you raped them too, because I hear you guys enjoy raping white people in jail. So shut up.
Man. And these captives that they got, these are your present day Mexican Hispanic people. What y'all gotta understand is the people that you see right here helped the Spaniards overthrow the Black Aztec in Mexico.
You hear that? The people that he sees right here help overthrow the Mexicans when the Spaniards came. Okay, sounds good. So how come you Negroes don't know nothing about the Christian compendium? If we weren't here, that means that you Negroes, you dirty motherfucking stinking Negroes from West Africa, should have experienced the decimation and destruction of these Spaniards. And then after that, you should have experienced the Christian compendium, which would have taught you Ave Maria, Padre Nuestro, El Credo, Diez Mandamientos, and El Rosario, cabrones. And guess what, dirty motherfucking smallpox scaring Negroes from West Africa? Y'all did not experience that at all. We did. We suffered. We died. Y'all brought that shit. Smallpox was brought to America by Negroes like you. People that look like this nappy-headed bastard over here. You killed my people. Fuckface. And I'm supposed to all of a sudden ignore it. And then all of a sudden when I call you out, now I'm a racist. Fuck you. Fuck you. You call us people Mongolians, Neanderthals, Siberians, and you get away with some shit. Nah, hell nah. Look, listen, you can get away with that shit with the white boys, man. You ain't getting away with that shit with us, homie. You want to be racist, homie? We're going to do it like you too. Fucking llantas.
You have Etchu, the Mayan deity of chocolate, or coca, and he has his gold-tip spear and his jaguar fur on. A quote-unquote black god, ancient Mexico. This is in Guatemala. Now, Guatemala is next up.
Remind you, who cured this dirty bastard, bro? Who cured this dark motherfucking idiot right here? A Mexican cured his ass. If it wasn't for a Mexican, his black ass would have fucking died. But you want to know something about black people like you from West Africa? Not all Africans are like this. Specifically, this West African spirit. You guys are selfish. You don't appreciate help. You always remember all the hardships that people do to you, right? But you never remember the shit that you did to them. You are quick to call them on that shit. Like, you hurt me. And you'll never forget. For years, centuries, you'll even tell your kids, but you will never fucking tell people of the shit that you did. You see, that's a spirit of West Africans. Fuck you guys, man. We ain't doing this shit no more with you.
Honduras, where Dr. Sebi is from. Dr. Sebi's from Honduras. That's that whole Mayan, Olmec territory.
Fam, hold on a second. Let me go back. Look what he said right here, bro. Look what he said right here. I want to say this right here. Remind yourself about the racist shit that he said at this point.
These people are your Afro-Mexicans or your quote-unquote African-Americans, your indigenous people of America. Now, when I first seen this mural right here, now this is the Mayans. They're tying up these pale-skinned invaders. And when I thought this, okay, this gotta be the Neanderthal right here. Because these people have blonde hair and a ruddy skin. So, I have actually even seen Mexicans with the same features as the people that's being tied up and getting ready to get sacrificed. In this mural, I've seen Mexicans that look like these people. So this is the Neanderthal and this is the Disanova. And you could pretty much get an idea who the people were. Now you see your Aztec. Now this is the Aztec temple. Now you see the brothers with the feathers. You even see some of the brothers in a Muslim-ish garb. This is in ancient Mexico. This is what they are hiding. This is Mexico before the conquistadors colonized it. Now you gotta understand you had enemies of the Aztec, which were pre-Columbian invaders, or what you'll call present-day population. However, they sided with the Spanish against the Black Aztec to help overthrow their rulership elite. And the slave or the prisoner they got captive, and what you see is the Black Aztec right here. This is what you call present-day Negro, Black African American man. And his captive, these captives that they got, these are your present-day Mexican, Hispanic people. What y'all gotta understand is, the people that you see right here helped the Spaniards overthrow the Black Aztec in Mexico. You have Achua, the Mayan deity of chocolate, or coca, and he has his gold-tipped spear and his jaguar fur on. A quote-unquote black god, ancient Mexico. This is in Guatemala. Now Guatemala is next to Honduras, where Dr. Sebi is from. Dr. Sebi's from Honduras. That's that whole Mayan, Olmec territory, ancient Mexico. And I see a lot between Dr. Sebi and this Mayan deity. You see, it's a strong resemblance. Now, this is my question for the Hispanic community, the Native American community. Now, I'm just asking a question, and this is for everybody. This is a common sense challenge. I need everybody to think. Now, as I make my point on what I'm going to say, is it a coincidence that when you look at these old Mayan murals, Aztec codex, you happen to see the people, the higher or the rulership happen to have dark skin. They happen to look black. And the captives or the slaves happen to be pale. I'm just saying, is this a coincidence? I need everybody to think. I'm seeing this pattern in ancient Mexico. These dark-skinned black men taking pale-skinned captives. Is this a coincidence that the elite all happen to be very melanated, very dark? Is this a question? Is this something to think about? The name of this is Native Americans Give Gifts to Thomas Gage. These are the Pokemon Mayans in Mexico, in Guatemala. Now, when you look down, you'll see a brother down. He has an afro, dark-skinned Negroid feature. So it's not even up for debate. Now, when you look up, you have an Indian with him, and these are there's a Dominican friar. I forgot his name, but this is, these are, your conquistadors. Pretty much, this is your population in Mexico when the Spaniards arrived here.
Talking about the Olmec heads, right? Yes. Those made with the basaltic, rock, right? And I guess you know which is the point. The mystery, it is that those Olmec heads showing us none of the features. Can I say that? Physical characteristics quite different to the rest of the people we have in this country, right? Yeah.
Clayhead from La Venta, Tabasco, showing kinky hair, pre-classic. I instantly seen the phenotypes on this ancient Mexican head, and I instantly know, okay, this is what this person would look like in the 21st century. And these are the phenotypes. And now this woman happens to be from Cuba. I believe she's Cuban. And that's another territory of that whole, extension of that whole Mayan Olmec paradigm in itself. One thing to say that these people got into Mexico and Central America through the slave trade. But it's another thing when you have the evidence saying different. Because when you look at all these ancient Mexican figurines, BC time, all Negroid. I have not seen anything Asian. None of them Mongoloid. You see what I'm saying? So these people, all these other people, clearly came from somewhere else at a later time. And when you look at the Temple of the Warriors in Chichen Itza, you clearly see how they got here. You see what I'm saying? I stumbled across this picture right here of these Belizean people, and I instantly knew this was identical to the ancient Mayan ruins that I've seen in Mexico. And it's like, these are the same people, but you got to understand what they do is they'll Africanize it. They have to hide the history of the people. So they'll say, well, these are Afro-Belizean or Afro-Honduran or Guatemala. They have to Africanize it. And then they'll take the people of Asian descent, of early invaders of the Americas. They'll say, well, these are the Mayans. These people who clearly have no resemblance to these ancient ruins and murals in Mexico. This is from the Arnoldus Montanus book, The New and Unknown World. This is from the first ever depiction of indigenous people of the Americas. Now you see these Aztecs, they're meeting Hernan Cortez, the conquistador, and the Spaniards. And this is by the ancient volcano they had. You see these brothers? Now, when you look at these Nicaraguan women in Central America, these indigenous beauties, when you look at these beautiful women of Nicaragua, you can get an idea what the population looked like in ancient Mexico and get to be able to distinguish the indigenous people. These are the American Indians. And this is a Mosquito Indian of the Mosquito tribe. And this is another picture of, it says, Indians using bow and arrow in southern Mexico. Now, we know they're going to deny this to the grave, but you get an idea what the population looked like. And these brothers was probably in somewhere rural where they couldn't make contact with Spaniards and white people, so they was probably able to preserve their identity and who they are. I talked about this years ago. This is nothing new to me. I really talked about this. I want to give respect to Sister Yafa Bay, because I remember she even mentioned the panther being the indigenous cat of America. All due respect. Now, years ago, I had made this photo, and I have the Olmec head and the panther, and then I have the Egyptian and the lion, because the jaguar panther being the indigenous cat of the Americas, and the lion being the cat of Africa, and the tiger of China, Asia. Now, Stan Lee, what he did was look at these ancient American culture in Mexico, the deities throughout the Aztec, Maya, Olmec, and what he did was put an African twist on things. He just Africanized it. Then you got Wakanda, that being the deity in the plains throughout the plains tribes and the Algonquin. So it's in you to gravitate to that because that's America. That's ancient America. That's you. That's what you are. They like they always do, they have to put an African spin on it. But Wakanda is within you. That isn't here in America. We don't know our history, so, you know, they'll put an Africanize it, you know what I mean? That's what they do. That's what they have to do. What they'll do is, they really laughing at us. They're like, dumb niggas don't know their history. So we're going to Africanize it. And they'll laugh at you and collect money. Not knowing that Wakanda is a deity throughout the plains, the Dakotas, the Algonquin nations, the Osage. Not knowing that. And not knowing the symbolism of the jaguar, the panther, the Americas.
To examine closely at leisure all the pieces in that collection. It is a priceless collection, and many of you have raised the question which must be pursued: what will happen when von Wutenow, who is now 84, dies? What will happen to a collection which is of tremendous significance for us blacks throughout the third world? Because the likelihood is, as has happened in previous centuries, the likelihood is that all of these marvelous pieces which we have seen, and which we have not yet had time to photograph completely and to preserve, may disappear. Von Wutenow has, in addition to these little sculptures, he has a catalogue of everything he has. Brilliant photographs taken by several professionals over the years.
She is apparently the director of the dancing group. And this is a man, and his features are Totonac. They are not Negroid, but they paint them with chapopote, so it is a warrior who is black. That is also an atavismo because they knew that the Olmecs were black.
You're saying that the Olmec people themselves were black?
No, well, this one certainly was black. You see, you can't see. And here is the proof for it. It's one of the best proofs I have. This is a figure made that is between the Olmecan period and the Totonacan period, transition period. And this is an Olmec sculpture, and to be black, they covered it with tar. You see, it's a stone head, but it's covered with this tar. So not only the features and the thick lips come out primitive, but it is made black. This piece was put on the cover of Revista in Mexico in March, and shows you that another colossal Olmec head was found in Mexico, which has not been, in my opinion, I don't know where it is, it's never exhibited. I wonder if they really have excavated it. Of course, you see these, there is the item that the people in Tabasco, Tabasco is one of the provinces here, I mean one of the states, the state, just as Louisiana is a state. And the people in Tabasco don't want it to disappear from their place to Mexico City. And there are frictions between the Instituto de Antropología and the state, you see. And that's why I don't know if they've done in the state something about
states versus which either were held as territories or became independent, really pivoted around, and you mentioned it in your book, a group of Supreme Court decisions that are rarely studied these days, the insular cases in the early 1900s that determined which were incorporated versus unincorporated territories. Could you talk about that, the significance of those decisions for the justifying an American empire?
Yeah, so after the United States, in a sort of imperial shopping spree, acquired a number of large populated colonies, the Philippines, Puerto Rico, Hawaii, Guam, the Supreme Court had to figure out where these places stood within the fabric of the nation. They're part of the United States, but does that mean Filipinos can vote for the president? Does that mean they're covered by the Constitution? It wasn't clear, and there were a lot of arguments about it. So the Supreme Court ultimately came down with this, that the Constitution applies to the United States. It's the law of the lands.
Oh, shit. Sorry, fam. I let it go away. Okay. All right. Let me close this up. Didn't mean to do that. So anyways, yeah, I saw the end of it. I appreciate you guys being around. I wish I would have cut it off sooner, but I guess I didn't get a chance to. I had some other videos to play, but you know what? What time is it? Oh, we got a little bit of time. Hold on a second. This is the videos that I wanted to show y'all. I came back a little bit late. My bad. I had to handle some shit. Dispensa. Hold on a second. I got it.
We are the indigenous.
Boom. I got it. And you know what? I'm going to play this brother's video, man, because you know what? I still appreciate you, bro. Still appreciate you. I think you're a hater, though. But, you know, we got to use all that power up in here. Bro. Check this out. Oh, see, that's the thing about these people, bro. I save some videos for later, man, and you guys end up getting either blocked or you guys delete them yourselves, bro. I don't even know what the fuck that means. But anyways, I got a couple good ones. I'll show you this one first. You heard them before. You know what I mean? I appreciate it anyways. Let's go.
What you're about to hear, I say it with my chest.
Tell me about
and I'll say it again.
The Moroccan Empire. On this land. This is indigenous land, brother. It's not your fucking land. You're black. You're African. Be proud of that shit. In fact, the Africans, the slaves, would not even be here if it wasn't for us. And that's the fact. But again, you guys keep fucking stabbing us in the back.
Says if it wasn't for us, the black slaves wouldn't be here. See, that's the thing, paisa. That's the thing, raza. Y'all don't realize, bro, que estos negros, way, they didn't come as slaves. They came to conquer you. They came to conquer you, brown, red man. Because they hate your ass. Because you're better than them. Because you make better women than them. Because you raise better families than them. Because you have a better structure than them. Because God chose you over them.
Because the African Americans are fucking related to white people. You guys are fucking close. That's what it is, dog. Junk about black Americans. I don't care, dog. You guys are fucking snitching. You guys are fucking reporting us, breaking up families, and touching kids. You guys are isolating kids. Who care? Care, man. I grew up in the barrio. I ain't scared of blacks. I ain't scared of blacks. I ain't scared of Africanos. You guys can call me racist. You guys can call me whatever the fuck you want. I'm Indigenous. This is our land. It's not your fucking land. Care what you are. Yeah, they got black agents. They got Latino agents. We know this. But you guys are full of shit. And there are some very loving, beautiful African Americans.
Okay, that's where he gets a little softy and shit. Fuck that shit, bro. No love for these motherfuckers. Let's go, bro. You want to take my gente?
Indigenous people of the Americas. We have been here for over 30,000 years. We are copper-colored people. Our people in the United States pretending to be us. The real Indians are still alive and strong. No one can erase us. We are the indigenous people of the Americas. We have been here for over 30,000 years.
Y'all know about FBA, right? Now, let me introduce y'all to FWA, Foundational White American. I'm not kidding. Take a look.
Yeah, colonials.
You don't look very Native American to me.
I am Native American. Whites are Native Americans. What are you
Sorry,
talking about?
you're not.
What are you talking about? Whites are Native Americans.
Really?
I think
What was happening before the 1500s?
I think you're getting confused with it.
I don't mind going on a tangent, but what was happening before the 1500s?
Calm down. I think you're getting.
What was happening before the 1500s?
There was indigenous people here that came here from Asia.
Do you know what indigenous means?
Did y'all hear how similar y'all sound? That's exactly how y'all sound to us. Like that. You see that? You have spent so much time with these colonizers on this land. You started thinking like them. You see that? Similar way of thinking. They believe that they are native to this land because they've been here for quite some time. Same thing as you. Y'all are both working to erase the Native Americans' story. That's what y'all doing.
Estamos aquí, oye, que estamos aquí. Mírame, estamos aquí. Desde hace rato, cuando ustedes llegaron, ya estaban las huellas de nuestros zapatos. Se robaron hasta la comida de gato y todavía se están lamiendo el plato. Bien encabronados con estos ingratos. Hoy le doy duro a los tambores hasta que me acusen de maltrato. Si no entiendes el dato, pues te lo tiro en cumbia, bossa nova, tango o vallenato. A lo Calaboy y bambú, bien frontú, con sangre caliente como Timbuktu. Estamos dentro del menú. Tupac se llama Tupac por Tupac Amaru del Perú. América no es solo USA, papá. Esto es desde Tierra del Fuego hasta Canadá. Hay que ser bien bruto, bien hueco. Es como decir que África es solo Marruecos. Estos canallas se les olvidó que el calendario que usan se lo inventaron los mayas con la Valdivia precolombina. Desde hace tiempo, este continente camina, pero ni con toda la marina pueden sacar de la vitrina la peste campesina. Esto va para el capataz de la empresa. El machete no es solo para cortar caña, también es para cortar cabeza.
Aquí estamos, siempre estamos, no nos fuimos, no nos vamos. Aquí estamos pa' que te recuerdes. Si quieres mi machete te muerde. Aquí estamos, siempre estamos, no nos fuimos, no nos vamos. Aquí estamos pa' que te recuerdes. Si quieres mi machete te muerde. 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 Te muerde, te muerde.
Los paramilitares, las guerrillas, los hijos del conflicto, las pandillas, las listas negras, los falsos positivos, los periodistas asesinados, los desaparecidos, los narcogobiernos, todos los que robaron, los que se manifiestan y los que se olvidaron, las persecuciones, los golpes de estado, el país en quiebra, los exiliados, el peso devaluado, el tráfico de droga, los carteles, las invasiones, los emigrantes sin papeles, 5 presidentes en 11 días, disparo a quemarropa por parte de la policía, más de 100 años de tortura, la nova trova cantando en plena dictadura. Somos la sangre que sopla la presión atmosférica. Gambino, mi hermano, esto sí es América.
Aquí estamos, siempre estamos, no nos fuimos, no nos vamos. Aquí estamos pa' que te recuerdes. Si quieres mi machete te muerde. Aquí estamos, siempre estamos, no nos fuimos, no nos vamos. Aquí estamos pa' que te recuerdes. Si quieres mi machete te muerde. 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 Te muerde, te muerde.
man are real. This is the cipher tweet. Ahora Babylon real. En esta ocasión traigo a los gangsters más gangsters de la zona. Y vengo con la familia again. ¿Cómo dice? Ya man are real. Traigo el mensaje puro y crudo para el momento. No palabras vanas que rompen los sentimientos. Lucharé y derribaré los muros del lamento. Pídeme pues te daré los sueños que están muertos. Nunca el demonio dio mensajes de amor, pero tampoco los dio el ángel que nos abandona. Quizás miremos diferente el reloj, pero tu cielo es el infierno donde el amor murió. Political violence, criminals, physical redemption hasta cacaca del baile. Typical styling, musical fraile. Mucha es la promesa en la que se han llevado el aire. Love and love and love. Siente verdad como no en mi corazón. No more, no more, no more. It's a reggae cipher. Feed the world. What time is it? Es de reventar el beat. Throw the tangle in the street. Reggae music on the hit. Romperemos las barreras que crearon para ti, pues llegaron los señores y la paz de nuevo aquí. What time is it? Es de reventar el beat. Throw the tangle in the street. Reggae music on the hit. Romperemos las barreras que crearon para ti, pues llegaron los señores y la paz de nuevo aquí.
Fue que me brotaron alas y ganas de volar. En las buenas mi terreno lleno, en las malas solar. Un muro que decorar, mis hermanos me sirven de guía, mi estrella polar. Guarda los hilos, me duele hasta respirar. Solo quiero ver verdad. Sigo buscándome lejos de lo que piensas. Más fácil de lo que crees, el esfuerzo trae recompensas. Vale la experiencia si es intensa. No tires de la cuerda si está tensa. Miraban al ocaso con tristeza. Las estrellas devolvían con grandeza su mirar. Nos vimos floreciendo en la maleza. La belleza de las piezas y comienzan a encajar.
Es de reventar el beat. Throw the tangle in the street. Reggae music on the hit. Romperemos las barreras que crearon para ti, pues llegaron los señores y la paz de nuevo aquí. What time is it? Es de reventar el beat. Throw the tangle in the street. Reggae music on the hit. Romperemos las barreras que crearon para ti, pues llegaron los señores y la paz de nuevo aquí.
51, 52, con un micro de bambú, más vueltas que Passepartout. Me siento en la old school. It's magnetic kung fu, it's a reggae magnatur. Por las almas sonrientes que acompañan a Zazú. En bambalinas y balú, son rimas de menú, no salidas de Benur, pero calidad y del sur. Homie, always lonely, but I feeling like a gangsta. 52, 53, a mí sí me ves venir, por eso me llaman King, ese fue mi devenir. De marchar o seguir, nunca tuve que elegir, la music me eligió a mí, no tengo nada más que decir. Saifa, Puniga, Loba, Grimble, Fire, Killerman, Smoker, Chusta, feel like a Rasta, Child Metal, Kimanes, original a reggae Saifa again.
Interna en la villa del pingüino, de los que alinean la antena y los que se encuentran dormidos zarandean tus emociones cual barril de vino, cosas feas quizás en tus ideas, pero aquí no, yo no atino, disparo sin mirar a todo aquel vampiro que el diente quiera hincarme, bro. Si lo digo, no es para pensar, sino para aclarar lo que de siempre estás pensando. Acaba el tan magnífico, imposible de torcer metal, so start my friend, yo. Reggae warriors again, making connection after connection, my new world, creating the freedom from them, me more. Nanny boy, represent this game.
What time is it? Es de reventar el beat. Throw the tangle in the street. Reggae music on the hit. Romperemos las barreras que crearon para ti, pues llegaron los señores y la paz de nuevo aquí. What time is it? Es de reventar el beat. Throw the tangle in the street. Reggae music on the hit. Romperemos las barreras que crearon para ti, pues llegaron los señores y la paz de nuevo
falta
aquí.
presentación si existe nivel. Sobreviviendo en Babilonia escribí al papel mis problemas cuando al final pude entender que para ser feliz solo tienes que querer. Que solamente hay una vida y es para vivir. Busca siempre una alternativa para seguir. No dejes nunca que te digan que no es así. Y prende un poco de sativa para estar chill. Ey, superando ansiedades con el humo de gancha. Manchas de un pasado trágico en la cancha. Seguimos siendo fuertes, su mierda no me engancha. Mientras otros esperando a que lleguen en lancha. No matter where you come, no matter where you come from. Solo importa que prestes atención a este sound. Desde the original, kill a man al mando. Oh na na na.
Mira, soy un warrior, sonido legendario. Disfruto cada segundo cuando me subo al escenario. Tengo fuego en los labios, sigo cual mercenario. Pasos de gigante y cora revolucionario. Siento que es necesario, suena el reggae en los barrios. Para que cale el mensaje y para salvar a los más sabios. Entre en mi imaginario, quemo cheques bancarios. Si vienes con la mala vibra, mejor bro, cambia tu itinerario. Ya, 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 ya. Cuando ruge el león suena la música real. Venimos con el ya, 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 ya. Sonido de guión es el sonido original. Ya, 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 ya. Reggae de corazón es el que se hace en unidad. Ya, 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 ya.
What time is it? De reventar el beat. Reggae music band de hit. Romperemos las barreras que crearon para ti. Pues llegaron los señores y la paz de nuevo aquí. What time is it? De reventar el beat. Reggae music band de hit. Romperemos las barreras que crearon para ti. Pues llegaron los señores y la paz de nuevo aquí.
Y va de nuevo mi tono. Mexicano bandido, todo el barrio prendido. Siempre ando bien cuido, siempre poniendo ruido. Mexicanos al grito de guerra, yo defiendo mi tierra. No me dejo de nadie, yo cuido a los míos, mi raza se aferra. Soy mexicano, esa es mi bandera, yo la levanto por donde quiera. Verde, blanco, rojo hasta que muera. El barrio prendido ya quemó afuera. Soy mexicano, esa es mi bandera, yo la levanto por donde quiera. Verde, blanco, rojo hasta que muera. El barrio prendido ya quemó afuera. Me voy tendido, me voy empinando mi bote. Un poco mareado por la bebida y el borlote. Me tiene hasta la riata la gente con su mitote. Pero me despreocupo, me pelan todo el garrote. Me para la chota, ya es por mi apariencia. Que hay tantos delitos, que hay tanta demencia. Yo no cargo nada, no más mi presencia. Pinche puerco joto, atente a las consecuencias. Si no topa el boy en breve nos para en la calle. No puede salir uno conmigo porque ya hay detalle. No quiere que conteste, quiere que yo solo calle. Quiere mi dinero pero que chinga su madre. A la dica este sistema nos quieren ver abajo. Pero tumbar gente, quien les dijo que es trabajo. Puro chingar al indio, váyanse mucho al carajo. Loco no me rajo, lo bueno porque
se armó la alianza más pesada del país. Todo el mundo ya conoce las rimas de estos MCs. Pa' ponerme más feliz, unos baisas de hachís. Mis paisas en el gabacho, bien truchas con la polis. Loco en Guanajuato, con los ojos bien tumbados. De cote con el quesada, rifando por todos lados. Atento si prendo un blunt en cabina cuando grabo. Represento Nuevo León, junto a mi carnal el Davo. Cuando voy pa' Jalisco, el pasado está olvidado. Con el perro de la C, bien grifo, pedo y enfiestado. Chécate mi banderón, unido como había soñado. Bien bajado ese balón, compa lefty bien bajado. Puro hip hop mexa, hasta que amanezca. Pásenme un mezcal y que no se apague la yesca. Ya saben que aquí andamos pilas pa' lo que se ofrezca. Si escribo estas rimas es pa' que se enorgullezca.
Verde marihuana, blanca cocaína, roja la sangre que escurre de una nueva herida. Yo salí de la ruina, nunca se me olvida. Con disciplina y respeto sigo en siempre la movida. Ando bien high, la vida es un freestyle. Disfruta lo que hay, vivo entre el bien y el mal, carnal. Crazy life todo el día, viendo live. Pinto tu barda con spray, lo que canto es real. Azules y rojas las sirenas que me persiguen. No suben pa' la virgen, salen todos cuando chifle. Mi barrio no lo pisen, que andamos todos grises. Maldito policía, no quiero que me revises. prende la mota en canala o en heater. Ando con mi flota y el dealer. Tenemos lo que se te ofrezca, tú nada más pide. Me dijo mi madre que de la envidia me cuide.
Soy mexicano, esa es mi bandera. Yo la levanto por donde quiera. Verde, blanco, rojo hasta que muera. El barrio prendido ya quemó afuera. Soy mexicano, esa es mi bandera. Yo la levanto por donde quiera. Verde, blanco, rojo hasta que muera. El barrio prendido ya quemó afuera.
Ya, ábranse cabrones, llegó el mexicano partiendo sin necesidad de palancas. Todos jugamos en la misma liga, yo soy titular, tú ves desde la banca. Disfruto cada cosa que me pasa, colaboro y mi carrera se levanta. El mismo cabrón que antes no tenía nada, se la pasa viajando y dice que canta. Por eso me caga enfermarme de la garganta. Pero aguanta, traigo mata natural y humo de planta. 2, 3 cabrones dando lata y yo haciendo más plata. De esto la vida se trata y pa' que sepas no es barata. MC da bolos desbarata con cada escalón que sube. Yo tuve la suerte de hacerme fama en YouTube. Hay 2, 3 raperos de antaño que me bajé de su nube. Los mandé pa' su casa y de premio hasta les pagué el Uber. Si alguien me tira es porque sabe bien que domino el negocio y quiere de mi parte. No quiero darlas de grande, pero si me tiras la neta me toca humillarte. Soy capitán, llevo el estandarte. Somos muy pocos los que hacemos arte. Este flow si es de Marte, tú dale like y comparte.
México lindo y bandido, diario a Diosito le pido que me cuide a la familia si un día el cora ya no late. Estoy bendecido porque me cuidan los míos. Orgullosamente me exatamos locos de remate. Jaque mate, no hable de volar si viene gateando. La cosa por la frontera se pone violenta, no importa el rango. Toda la raza jalándole duro, si hay algo seguro es la muerte en donde ando. El sudor y la sangre en la frente, los de alzada controlando. Se roban la atención, ya saben quiénes son. Vatos locos con sazón como el de un corridón. No quiera tomarme el pelo si ando todo pelón. Levantando la bandera, viva México cabrón.
Es el perrito de la C.
La bandera con un águila, Simón, mi tierra es esta. Me vale si mi piel o si mi acento les molesta. Acá jalan horas extras, nunca duermen la siesta. Están los que van pa'l jale y los que la viven de fiesta. Otros que en el pintón se tatúan de corazón. 3 colores en el pecho, morirían por su nación. Aunque su puto gobierno los puso en la situación de no terminar la escuela y terminar en la prisión. ¡Viva México, ladrones! ¿Qué hubo, les presidente? Ya saben que por mí policías chinguen a 20. Y ahí están mis 20 pa' la cagua. Aguas, que es tierra caliente de Chiapas hasta Chihuahua. Wow, 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 yipi yo, yipi yucas. Buenas, Montegreen, Aguas, Tijuas y San Lucas. San Luis Potoyes, Mataulipas, La Puebluca. Dime si o no, loco, acá tienen lo que buscas.
Soy mexicano, esa es mi bandera. Yo la levanto por donde quiera. Verde, blanco, rojo hasta que muera. El barrio prendido ya quemó afuera. Soy mexicano, esa es mi bandera. Yo la levanto por donde quiera. Verde, blanco, rojo hasta que muera. El barrio prendido ya quemó afuera.
Puro hip hop mexa, perros, 2023.
Ey yo, ey yo.
Somos la santa carnal.
Ey, ey, dale, los machidones de la plaza.
Oye, DJ Dunde que en los scratches. Desde alzada, mi perro. No saben quién soy o sí. Oye.
Viva México, cabrones.
Quise enfrentarme a la tormenta, dolía el temporal. Cansado ya de volar, andaba mal de moral. El tiempo fluye, se destruye, en su eterno devorar. Sus agujas se me clavaban como más con volar. Poco sé de abandonar, me hablaron de las nubes, vi el sistema solar. No me sorprenden sus virtudes, he visto traicionar a quien amaba sin controles. Más he visto odiar al mundo a quien no asume sus errores. Yo ya lo sé, porque andamos caminos inciertos. Guerreros de fe, iluminando caminos oscuros. Cuántas veces contra el muro me dejé la piel por rudo. Mataría por poder ver el futuro. ¡Pum! Dar batalla a los demonios que le hacen daño a los míos. Desconfío de quien quiera de lo suyo. Y yo vuelo,
cada vez más loco, cada vez más cuerdo, cada vez más alto y más cerca del suelo. Lo hago cuando quiera y lo hago con quien quiero.
ningún estado mental. Debes disfrutar de lo que tú tienes ahora, que lo tienes, mañana igual lo pierdes. Debes liberarte de lo que te ahoga, que todos los días son viernes y vives como quieres. Ey, está todo como tiene que estar, aunque no lo puedas ver, ya no lo puedes negar. Ahora tienes que creer, dejar caer la moral. A veces puede doler, no se puede liberar aquel que no quiere ver.
No sé qué pasará mañana, estoy viviendo cada día como si todo acabara. Me voy contento para la cama, porque sigo haciendo todo lo que me da la gana. Pero todito lo hago con amor, y sé que te llega porque volviste. No te reprimas nada, inténtalo, y saca allá afuera lo que sentiste. Yo no vine a cambiar nada, pero me late tan fuerte que lo voy a intentar. Y brillando cual ámbar, caminé consciente, fluyó como el agua. Yo no me propuse cambiar nada, saqué lo mejor de mí, me salía natural. Como una matita de ganja, mis pies en la tierra, elevando el alma.
Buscando el sentido a todo esto perdido, la he vuelto a ver. Un suspiro, pero creo que ha merecido el arder. Musa, deja de esconderte y mátame este ansia que me hace pactar con el diablo y retroceder. Erguido al destino, cansado de que tanto cueste. Fabricamos pepinos, dedicamos nuestra suerte. En ritmos nos metemos, nos asobra un flow y duende. Regalamos cultura, con ella vamos a muerte. Ruge la cosa cuando hay reunión en la casa. Costó subir de la poza, el secreto está en la masa. Calidad extrema rota. Estos versos dentro pesan, duro el camino, espinas y rosas. Cayó en los pies descalzo, voy, creí que no, pero aquí estoy, mi recobrero entre polvo y seda. Será por no dejar de echarle huevos a esta vida. Si veo hoguera, más madera.
Como ese pintor ciego que llegaba a ver el mundo con la yema de los dedos. Despliego lo que siento, unas horas pasan lentas y otras no miras el tiempo. Tienes que cultivarte de cara al viento. Si hay un incendio incontrolable convertido en el infierno. Dios está en la tierra y la guerra es el incendio y el odio se va creciendo. Perdone a gente si me estoy estupefaciendo, porque los versos más profundos salieron en los momentos nocturnos nublados. Hoy solo conmigo y sin pensar en el pasado respiro, porque habrá pasado el tiempo y sé que algo habré aprendido. Háblame a lo quiero, mundo loco que todavía no te he entendido, y enséñame un camino que yo sigo mi destino. Y algo sigue vivo fino y eso me da ánimo para exprimir mi sonido al máximo. Na 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 na. Puto largo, místago de Garolo, Galos y Chusterfield. Hoy estamos en la casa.
Vámonos, chavales, esta es la buenísima, que lo sepáis. El final de todo.
Ahora
esto está de puta.
Stop it.
Yeah, man. This is 4 Elements. All right. The gangsters of the sun, motherfuckers. Cypher. Volumen 1. He sentido miedo por verme desolado. He tocado el cielo por teneros a mi lado. He dicho te quiero a quien me ha traicionado, pero nunca he sido malo, eso lo tengo bien demostrado. Muévelo, báilalo, el sonido tómalo, cántalo y con tus amigas gózalo. Body, 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 así que apréndelo. Estamos envueltos en llamas, DJ, gózalo. Hey, nego, track over track in a mid bomba, but don't stop it, reggae it up, a nigga coming to the top. All of them, fire burn them for the club. Keon in the area is the only general. Track over track in a mid bomba, but don't stop it, reggae it up, a nigga coming to the top. All of them, fire burn them for the club. 4 Element is the only general.
No pueden competir contra esta fiera, tan distraído me vi mordiendo las barreras. Sufre menos quien nada espera. Aprendí mirándome, empecé a buscar ahí fuera. Analiza menos, soy cualquiera. Guardo mis demonios, lloraría si los vieras. Pero los tengo bajo llave, quizá conversemos durante la noche, ellos tengan la clave.